drama queen, and welcome to the drama castle. Overheard them mention hater, not a pretty word like moist or moisture. Wanna quit, but you know I'm a soldier. Try to get me out, you know it's game over. Say it's toxic, chaotic, unhealthy. Always play my cards right, don't test me. I'm not here to play nice, no I can't be. And if you're trying to stop me, that's a guarantee. Too many people try to get me out, and it worked for a second, but I'm back now, better than ever. Welcome to the drama castle. I am your drama queen, and welcome to the drama castle. You try to stop me, but you can't. Too many people try to stop me, but you can't. You can't.
Hide the money, y'all. There's poor people around. With your broke ass.
Black magic, night walker. She haunts me like no other. Nobody told me love is pain. Oh, black magic, dark water surrounds me like no other. She's got my heart in chains.
We're volatile, I can't call it though. It's like too large a peg and too small a hole. But she cheats and I catch her like the common cold. Last time I broke a collarbone, she tolerable. All I know is that the sex is phenomenal though. We're an unlikely pair, like two different Nike Airs. But I'm the same size she wears, so I think we're soulmates though. People don't like us together, but like we care. Yeah, but God strike me dead. She knows that I would walk over hot coals for her with both of my feet bare. But soon as I ask to hit, it's like she grabs a switch and turns me over her knee, cause my ass is whipped. Yeah, and I got her back on violence. So when she stabs me in mine, it's like I just can't feel the knife. As she pokes, jabs and slices, 1 minute she'll build me up, the next she'll push me down. Probably why she calls me dumbbell. She lifts me up, then puts me down. But I am under her thumbnail, I must be under her spell. It's like looking right into a gun barrel. None of these hoes can fuck with my girl, she got that
Black magic, night walker. She haunts me like no other. Nobody told me love is pain. Oh, black magic, dark water surrounds me like no other. She's got my heart in chains.
We wake up, break up, make up like Maybelline. Now she's all made up like make-believe. Probably why she's so fake to me. But what the fuck's it gonna take for me to make her see? Strip her naked and take her keys. I've been planning this thing for weeks, but I can't tell if I'm awake or asleep. But if this is actually happening, sucker for pain. I'm stuck in this radioactive pattern, but her by her motherfucking hair's all I imagine dragging. She lunges, attacks and scratches, but I ain't gonna stand for that shit. Like half of the national anthem as I stab, I'm laughing. So much for witchcraft and magic. Abracadabra that bitch, no turning back, I'm blacking. As I say farewell to the love of my life, I cut and I slice, I give her one last hug goodbye. Wipe the blood off my butterfly knife. Watch her fucking die right in front of my eyes. But in hindsight, think I just wanted to see what her insides look like. As I pop another 5 bites, that's what this high's like. Look down, there's blood on my knife. Shovel at my side, blood on my mic. Now wake up to music to be murdered by like. This is me shit, I just want us to kill it.
Black magic, night walker. She haunts me like no other. Nobody told me love is pain. Oh, black magic, dark water surrounds me like no other. She's got my heart in chains. Black magic, walker. She haunts me like no other. Nobody told me love is pain. Oh, black magic, dark water surrounds me like no other. She's got my heart
Hello, everybody. Oh, this has been a while. Ooh. Back to the movie talk stuff. I tell you what. Oh my god, my computer is frustrating me today. Hello, beautiful people on the YouTubes. How are y'all doing? I see a couple y'all in the chats. I see Jillykins saying hello back to you, beautiful. You are also a beautiful person. I hope you include yourself when you say that. I see Shattered Knight, who I believe is Phil Team MT. How are you doing? Geek Studio, hello, how are you? Much love to Geeks Studio for turning up. We got Anthony Way here. Hello. Yes, movie talk. It's been a while. I hope all has been well with you too, Geek Studio. So, listen. I have a history with a lot of these people. It's movie talk stuff. If y'all don't remember, I used to talk movie talk, especially movie talk drama. And I got a little bit of name for myself. Y'all. And last night I was up and I saw that good old Matt Jarbo was streaming and talking about Superman Legacy. I guess this whole thing, because we're getting closer now to this movie, fans on all sides have just been going absolutely insane. I talked about this I think it was a couple weeks ago. We did a stream about it. And then as I'm on the panel, right, because I called in late, and there's some people, familiar faces of people that I guess they used to like me and now they don't because they drank the Kool-Aid, and that's fine. But it was somebody who came into the chat and was like, "Oh, so she's here, I'm out, she sucks." And I just laughed my ass off because this is somebody who is literally just known to just jump on all these YouTube channels of these people who talk movie talk and contribute pretty much really nothing of value on the panel. Most of the time he's just kind of sitting there, very rarely talks and engages. And his name was, I think he changed his name, but his name is Axel Draga. Okay, and yeah, I'm gonna call your ass out because I called him out last night too, but I'm gonna call him out on my platform as well because this little fucking weasel, right? He's the biggest flip-flopper in this whole fandom, okay? Because this all started with Zack Snyder stuff, right? This all goes back to Zack Snyder, and it's been years. People still talking about the Snyderverse and Zack Snyder cut. It's been years, and we're still here fucking talking about it because all of these fans who have grifted off of Zack Snyder's name to make a name for themselves are now using Zack Snyder in that whole situation to now attack James Gunn in DC as a whole, because they want Zack Snyder to direct these movies. And we've said for a long time that's not gonna fucking happen. It's never gonna happen. Just move on. If you want to be a fan of DC, be a fan of DC. You can be a fan of DC and be a fan of Zack Snyder at the same time, sure. But it seems like these people are trying to act like they're more of a fan of Zack Snyder than they are really of DC. So last night, while everyone was talking about, the whole situation with what happened with DC, there's a lot of things. There's still people saying the same stupid arguments and saying the same stupid shit. You have YouTube channels coming up with the most absurd fucking conspiracy theories about what's going on in DC. Oh my god, James Gunn is a plant for Marvel because Marvel wants, James Gunn to go over there and ruin DC so that Marvel looks better, or whatever bullshit, weird shit these people come up with. It's absolute absurdity. It's like looking at a bunch of people who have the worst type of mental illness you can think of, because there's no way that these are real people and not NPCs. I see Jamal in the chat saying, I miss Henry Cavill. Here's the thing about Henry Cavill, right? I think that people really seem to forget that Superman, Batman, all of these characters have been portrayed by so many different actors, whether it's voice acting or on-screen acting, TV shows, movies, you name it. There's always been a different person playing the part. So even though, did Henry Cavill do a good job playing Superman? Yes, I'm not going to argue with that. But the point is, Henry Cavill is not Superman. When I say he's not Superman, I mean he does not embody Superman. If Henry Cavill dies, Superman doesn't die with him. Okay, he's an actor. He did a fabulous job. But at some point, he was going to get recasted. At some point, Henry Cavill was going to move on and do other things with his career. Because to these actors, it is a job. first and foremost, it is their job. So do I want Henry Cavill to come back and play Superman or see him in the suit again? Sure, he did a great job as Superman, but Henry Cavill is not the end-all be-all for Superman. But this is what these fans will sit there and try to perpetuate to get all of these fans, these really hardcore, like obsessed fans, to just go absolutely crazy. Okay? And now when I talk about this person, Axel, right? And his comment of I suck. Well, why do I suck? Because I call these people out and I tell them they're fucking wrong. They're wrong. They're misinformed. They're spreading misinformation. They are not being honest with their community. They are acting as if they have inside information about what's going on at DC Studios, or like they know James Gunn, they know his motivation, they know what kind of person he is. They already are saying that this Superman Legacy movie is going to fail. They want it to fail. They want it to fail because they think that if this fails, if James Gunn fails, that Discoveries, that David Zaslav is going to call Henry Cavill, Ben Affleck, Gal Gadot, Ray Fisher, and everyone who took part in the Justice League film, call them up and say, hey, we need you. And that's not going to happen. If this project fails, it's only going to fail because at this point, people don't really give a shit about DC superheroes like they used to. The hype of superhero, the beta of superhero genres is in my opinion, kind of like slowly kind of going away. I mean, and when I say slowly going away, I mean the hype for it when it comes to like general audience is diminishing. Fans are already always gonna watch this stuff, so at least there's money coming in. But like new people coming in, I don't see it happening. But overall, what the real issue is, these fucking fans that just come off more like clout chasers, because they really are. They really are. Now back to Axel real quick, because I gotta cook that boy. I got my fan out. I gotta fan myself down. I gotta cook that boy real quick. Now, the one thing that I've talked about, I know you guys, some of you were there when I talked about this, but there was accusations against me. The Zack Snyder's fans tried to cancel me on every platform possible because of one live stream that I moderated. And they pushed the narrative, the false narrative, that till this day people still bring up, is that I silenced people because I'm a toxic person, and because I didn't like certain people, that I banned them and deleted their super chats, which is factually untrue. I proved it so many times. And the one thing that was interesting, and I called out Axel last night, I'm calling him out here. When I went back to prove that on the stream I did a week ago, okay, when I went back to prove that I did not delete any super chats, that the super chats were still there and the people were still typing in the chat after the fact, right? I realized, well, you know who else was in that chat praising the mods, saying that the mods were doing great work? Well, Axel Draga. He was in the chat. He was watching that stream. He was there watching it live. Okay? Watching it live. Even super chatted himself. And then on social media, he decided to come at me and say, well, you're not going after calling out the James Gunn fans, you're only calling out the Zack Snyder fans. Yeah, well, the Zack Snyder fans are the only ones I've been literally fighting with online for the past 2 years. I haven't been seeing the James Gunn stuff because all I see on my timeline was the Zack Snyder bullshit. But if I see it, I'll happily call it out. And then he just kept going, so I blocked him, and then he got butthurt. And then somebody had told him about that stream that he was there for, he had watched and he had donated to, right? The Zack Snyder charity stream that everyone likes to talk about and bring up, right? He was like, I didn't know that. She did that. That's awful. She sucks. Even though he knows that's factually untrue, I never did that. But you know what? Flip-floppers are going to flip-flop. So what can I say other than keep flip-flopping, bro? Keep flip-flopping, bro. Hold on. I'm noticing my thing back here. I'm like, what is going on with this stream? Hang on. I'm just making sure. Okay. Because I'm like, what is going on my stream? But anyways, let me keep going. So that happened, and I got told I sucked. So I mean, I guess I suck. Now, I just want to also point out that the people that I had issues with till this day are objectively shitty people. All right. The reason why I call them out is because, again, they're using fans for clout, clicks, and money. You know, these people are objectively awful, like awful people. They've made homophobic comments, used homophobic slurs. They've attacked people, I won't even say try, they did dox people. And it's all over opinions over cape shit. It's literally over fictional movies and TV shows, guys. It's not that serious. But at the same time, how dare you? Now we've talked about it before. Again, I might have to go back and just start putting playlists together for you guys to go back and watch all of my coverage on these people that I've done for the last 2 years. Right? Because that's what they're mad about. They're mad that how dare anyone say anything against them. You know, they tried to do this whole hashtag sell Zack Snyder's Justice League to Netflix. They're still till this day trying to get that accomplished. It's a movement that's been going on unsuccessfully for the last 2 years, guys. Like, legitimately, it has not moved the needle. The people in the industry know about it, have called it out, have explained the business why it's not going to happen. And yet these people, these fucking fans, quote fans, are still trying to push this shit. And it is shit. And nobody wants to see it. And how dare I try to get them to see it, and I'm toxic. Listen, I'll be toxic all day. But at least I'm honest about what the fuck I do and what I talk about on my channel. I'm not going to sit here and sell my audience with hopes and dreams and bullshit lies. But that is what these fans want to do, especially the YouTube fans. These are hardcore with DC fans. This one motherfucker, Skywalker, the fucking Jedi. That dude, this man quit his job to be a full-time YouTuber when he has under the sub count that I have. Because you know why he did it? Because he's making enough money at this point, probably from the stupid fans that he's lying and manipulating. Oh, 100%. 100%. I am definitely toxic. 100%. But why am I toxic? I fight toxicity with toxicity. Oh, you're still yeeted from the channel? I looked at your main channel and I couldn't see it, but hold on. Let me see if I could fix that. I looked at, before I started the stream, RJ, I looked at the list and I was like, I couldn't find you. But hold on, let me see. Give me a second. Let me see if I can see you in the chat. Give me a second. No, you're not. You're not. I can see you in my chat. What account though? What account are we talking about? Your main one? Is it your main one here? Do me. I don't even see you. If you want backup, I'm free. Yeah, RJ, why don't you come on? I'll change everything here. You can come on. I'll send you the link. We'll get RJ on. Me and RJ go way back. Me and RJ fight like a married couple. All right. RJ, send me a link to your main one so I can go and take care of that. But that link is for RJ. RJ can come on. RJ can come on. We'll let RJ come on. See if RJ can come on so we can talk shit like we used to. Of course they're still at it. Of course the Snyder cult's still at it. They need to make money off this shit. Yeah, me and RJ talked last night. We talked last night. We're good. We're good. Yeah, we were talking about playing Fortnite last night. I have to re-download it, but expect him to give him a belly rub. RJ can have a belly rub. I'm telling you, man, we went through it. Me and RJ especially. Oh, they hate me and RJ. They hate RJ even more. And it's sad because RJ didn't even do anything to these people. I love it. And you know why people like friggin' Axel isn't shitting on RJ as much as he shits on me? It's because RJ has more patience with these people, and RJ's a lot nicer than I am. I have a no tolerance for bullshit policy that I stand on, and I can't. Like, these people will come for me and then think that I'm gonna just sit there and take it. I'm not a fucking pushover, bro. Like, you're not gonna come at me and think I'm not gonna push back. I'm not a pussy. I'm not saying RJ's a pussy. RJ pushes back, but he won't go as far as I will go. I will start insulting you and coming for your neck. RJ doesn't come for people's necks. Did someone say DC? Oh, yeah. I remember RJ from back when you were, yeah, RJ's still over there. We reconciled last night because I hopped on there when RJ was there. RJ was actually cooking Matt Jarbo last night. Matt won't admit it, but RJ was cooking him last night with facts. With facts, not fiction like a lot of these DC fans be doing. Oh my god, guys. James Gunn is a DC plant. Marvel planted him there. They planted him there so he can ruin DC. That's why this Superman Legacy movie is gonna fail. He's doing it on purpose. It's such a fucking weird thing. These are grown adults, dude. Grown adults. Like, we're pushing 40 years old over here, and we still fucking crying and boo-hooing over Superman movies? That's insane. That's insane. I've never allowed myself to get so mad at people liking something I don't like or disagreeing with my takes on entertainment. It's a subjective opinion. It is art. Art is always going to be a subjective opinion. As long as one motherfucking person likes it, it is now subjective. Because you can't sit there and tell me that this movie is going to fail or you want this movie to fail. I'll fix it later. Just come on. I sent you the link. Just come on. We'll fix it later. I'll fix it later, RJ. Don't worry. I have no clue what's going on YouTube anymore. I rarely get on here. I don't blame you. I haven't watched Monday Matt's channel in a while. Well, he's on $3 Theater. He still streams and does videos over there. Still talks movie talk. Once in a while, I'll hop on because, guys, I used to do movie talk all the time. I used to talk about, the Flash movie, all the DC stuff, all the Marvel stuff. Bro, I sent it in the chat. I sent it in the chat right here, RJ. In the chat, right there. It's right there for you, RJ. I don't care about those people anymore. The window's closing for them come July. It doesn't. Here's the thing, Eddie. It doesn't matter. They will always find a reason or a way to shit on DC because, they need it. They need it. It is their bread and butter. They have basically accumulated a cult of DC haters because it's not Zack Snyder. When we say that Zack Snyder's fandom is a cult, it has become a cult. 100% a cult. And I used to not believe that when people used to say that. When Andy fucking Signor and Jody's Corner said that the Zack Snyder fandom is a cult, everyone who was a Zack Snyder fan was like, fuck you, that's not true, bro. Now I'm seeing it like the one time Andy Signor was right about anything, it was 100% that the Zack Snyder fandom has become a cult. But it's become a cult because you have these, quote, leaders of the fandom, leaders of these hashtag movements who have elevated themselves into a position of power on a platform to just manipulate these fans into believing that everything they say is the gospel. It was worse when they had, and may he rest in peace, I'm not trying to shit on the dead, but Mikey Sutton was a person who ran a website called Geekosity, and he had inside scoops, right? He came out with scoops about things going on in the entertainment industry, and he got a lot of attention, and they even used him. They used him. Oh, RJ's here.
Hello.
Hello, RJ.
Nothing much, just chilling. It's been a day.
It's been a day, it's been a night. So, RJ, since it's been a while, happy reunion, by the way.
Hello, happy reunion.
Happy reunion. RJ, we've been through it, huh? We've been through the trenches, huh?
Yeah, it's been 4 years now.
4
years of craziness.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So since I have you here, last time I did a stream talking about this stuff, somebody came in my chat and they said, didn't you and RJ host a Twitter Spaces to attack Sil Abdul?
100% true. 100% true.
100% true. At this point, you might as well just say it because they're going to say it no matter what we say.
Yeah, 100% true. It was all a ploy to take down Sil Abdul. We coordinated it with Grace Randolph.
Yeah, Grace Randolph, who wasn't even in that Twitter Spaces that day.
No, she was, because she's My Time to Shine Hello. Didn't you hear? That's the same person.
Oh, that's a new rumor?
No, that's what they think. That's why they think that My Time to Shine Hello is Grace Randolph. That was
that's crazy. That's crazy. Yeah, no, the truth of the matter is, right? Fandom, the Zack Snyder fans, and he was getting a lot of traction, meaning that some of the directors started like pushing back against the false scoops they were putting out there, right? And so when that happened, right, when one of the I think it was James Gunn that actually said that the hashtag Cell movement was kind of, what did he say it was? What was the exact quote?
That was the
what James Gunn said about the hashtag Cell movement?
Yeah, he said it was the wackiest hashtag he's ever seen.
Right. He said it was the wackiest hashtag he ever seen. Yep. And then we decided, I decided, RJ, boot up a Twitter Spaces. We got to talk about this. That's all it was. I was the one who told RJ to boot up the Twitter Spaces.
No, that was something else. No, the reason we did the space was, if you remember, David Ayer came out on Twitter and said that these scoopers don't know anything. That's what it was.
Oh, that one was it. Yeah,
because that was like the whole Ayer cut situation with like those accounts, like Admin 1.
Oh, yeah. That was the run. That was the one that everyone talked about because that got like thousands of people. Like there was 1,000 people listening live.
Yeah, and a bunch of industry people came in and were all like, "This guy doesn't know what he's doing."
Yeah.
Which was really funny.
Yeah, and they were so mad because we had so many people listen. That was the one that Review Tech USA joined, and Skywalker was like, "Why is Review Tech USA there?"
Is that the brother that talks tech?
Mm-hmm.
No, I know. That's what they said. It's like, is that the brother that talks tech?
Yeah, they would like lose their mind. I don't know why Zack Snyder won't call these people out. I mean, why would he? Why would he at this point? Oh man. Oh. You know what I wanted to react to?
What?
Remember that thing that we were talking about last night about the book I wrote?
Oh, yeah, the book, yeah.
Did you guys ever read the book?
Yeah, I read it when it came out, yeah.
Yeah, so guys, one of the cultists, right? Somebody who used to be cool with us too. His name is Zodwriter. He's writing a book.
Insane.
Yeah, that they're right. He was writing a book called Pause Don't Stop or something, and it was supposed to be like a tell-all book about the Zack Snyder movement.
Yeah, like the whole history.
Yeah, the whole history about the Zack Snyder movement. So I thought it'd be funny to write my own book. So I did it on a website. I just made a quick website and did a book to kind of parody his book. And part of it was written by AI, by the way. And I called it Stop, Don't Pause.
Jesus. Yeah, I remember he said that he got exclusive quotes from all these people.
Yeah, he got
I got quotes from Walter Hamada.
Right. So I wrote a book called Stop, Don't Pause, and it is the condensed history why the Cell movement failed by the truth. And it's got a decent amount of chapters here. There's 6 chapters. There's a prologue, there's an epilogue, there's interviews, all written with ChatGPT or assisted with ChatGPT. Some of it was my own takes on it. And I forgot about it until we talked about it last night. And then I was kind of just like, oh, I should probably do a whole thing reading my book because I'm proud of that. Proud of that book. So what's been going on in the fandom lately, RJ? You got the tea, so spill it.
Well. Well, Superman tickets have gone on sale, so people are kind of losing their minds about stuff because everyone wants this movie to flop, obviously, because it's gonna flop. It's gonna kill the DCU. James Gunn's career is over. Everything's gonna be in shambles, right? So
Right.
tickets have gone on sale, so people are losing their minds about that. The other side, the usual suspects, from what I saw at least, they have done a couple streams, basically saying like, all these content creators are switching up. They're saying that this movie might be successful when we know it's not going to be. So they're being paid off.
Mm. It's funny they say that, considering the fact that that's what they want. They want Zack to notice them. They want Zack to boost them. I'm getting to the point where I'm realizing that people go to events and get autographs or pictures with these people, and they consider those cosigns. Remember when Zack Snyder signed Skywalker's
Poster
cell
with that
movement
phrase.
poster? Yeah.
After Skywalker requested, it was like, it would mean my entire world to me if you did this. So
Right.
it's like, but it's the side.
Right. And it's one of those things where it's like, oh my God, my grandmother is so sick. It would mean the world to me if you signed this for me. And then Zack is like, see, he supports it because he signed it.
Oh no.
Oh my God.
Oh no.
Now, Jay, what happened?
He's about to go live right now.
Oh, is he?
Yes. The thumbnail says, tired. Superman influencers start blaming Zack Snyder and his fan base for general audience response.
What is the general audience response to this?
According to them, it's that they hate this movie and think it's going to suck. That looks awful.
Okay, hold on. Superman. Where are they getting this information from? Oh, right. They don't ever tell you where they get this information.
They're saying that because Joe Rogan said that the dog was like funny.
Okay.
And Ben Shapiro made a video saying the movie looks bad. So Ben Shapiro is the general audience.
Ben Shapiro of all people.
Yes.
Let's see. How do fans react to the Superman trailer? Let's see. Okay, so how did fans react to the Superman trailer? Fans took to social media to share their thoughts on Superman's portrayal in the new trailer. There were both positive and negative reactions. I can't believe we're getting a movie where Superman has a personality. It isn't just extremely stoic and the whole time, one fan wrote on Twitter. So it seems like like a mixed reaction. So why are we saying that the general audience is like hating this stuff? And to say that Ben Shapiro is a general audience, Ben Shapiro isn't a general audience. Ben Shapiro is a fan of Superman. So it's safe
Ben
to say
Shapiro is also a content creator. I mean, Ben Shapiro is the same guy, by the way, who said that the Batman sucked. He said that Barbie was going to flop. He also said that Sinners was crap. So it's like, I'm not sure that Ben Shapiro is really in tune with what the audience likes or not. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like, it's just, I mean, he's a critic who has like his own. He's a personality. He's a media personality who's got his own viewpoint on stuff.
Right, exactly. So I mean, it's like you can't use Ben Shapiro as the catalyst for the opinions of why this movie is not going to fail. And I'm looking up the reception of the Superman Legacy trailer, and again, I'm seeing a lot of people saying that it was good, and that they're excited for it. So I don't really know again where these people are getting their information, but like I said, they spend nothing.
It's because that's how they feel. So if they think it looks bad, they think that the movie looks awful, that means everybody else should. And if you don't feel that way, it's because you're paid off. Like you're a shill.
Right. They just are gatekeeping at the highest level. It's gatekeeping. Like, it's legit gatekeeping at this prime, and they think that they have the rights. Because here's the thing: if y'all can make a better Superman movie, then do it. Make it. If you guys are that passionate about these projects and you think you could do
he's got
better,
the costume.
Right, you got the costume. Do the work. Put a fan film out there. Use AI. Like Thought Writer, use AI.
Well, they want Zack's movie though. They don't want to make a movie. They want Zack's movie.
Yeah, well, it sucks. I want $1 million, but here I am. Here I am still making shitty content on my
Well,
channel.
here's what gets me, right? This is what gets me, is that they don't realize, or maybe I don't know, maybe they do realize, or maybe they're just that dumb. I don't know. They probably are just that dumb. They are talking about this movie more than they're talking about Zack or Zack stuff. Like they're giving this movie so much hot air that they're basically promoting it at this point. Like they're part, like they have become part of the marketing because they can't shut up about it. Like you would do more if you stopped talking about it and stopped giving it attention. But they can't do that.
Now shut up, RJ. You're just a James Gunn's, shill. You're paid shill.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah, RJ's paid so well by James Gunn that he has to still go on YouTube channels to talk about it. Let me tell you.
Yeah, that's why I still work at 9 to 5.
You're right.
But
No,
that's what I'm
I
saying though. Like you would do more damage. Like if you really wanted this movie to fail, then don't talk about it. Because if you talk about it, you're basically free advertising at this point. You are part of the you have become part of the marketing, whether you want to or not. Because you're putting the movie out there. You're the one talking about it, nonstop. You're putting it in the algorithm. I mean, you're not dissuading people from talking, like from watching it. Because that's the other crazy thing too. Is it's like people hate on this, right? But they're still going to buy tickets. They're still going to buy it. They're still going to watch it. You know,
right.
there's no such thing as like bad publicity.
Yeah, I saw this one caught. Why influencers have been lying about Superman. I see Sil made the thumbnail on there. You know, isn't it obvious their choice of words, their nerdy appearances, which is a weird thing to say, their non-sensual enthusiasm. Warner Brothers is going the Disney way with marketing. Social media is and bullshit, except they're doing it with the worst way possible. I don't know why the Den of Nerds is a surprise. I was watching a live watch along the Star Wars show. He was enjoying it, but he said he saw the chat, disliked it, and someone mentioned Star Wars Theory, didn't like it. I believe they fell out. You never saw anyone pivot so fast. This man has zero personality integrity. And these are all comments on Skywalker stuff. And I'm sitting there like, really? Because you guys are just listening to somebody who has literally no inside knowledge about what's going on in DC, and he's just coming up with conspiracy theories that y'all just clearly like, and you're just sitting there like, yeah, it sounds good, it goes along with my narrative, so we're gonna support
it. Yeah. I mean that's facts.
Right. Eddie says they're threatened by the film. That's why they have to attempt to make it seem as if it's all negative. If this film is a hit, then it validates everything people said was wrong about the Snyder films.
Well, not only that, but the other part of it too is that if it's successful, where do they go from here? Because they're banking on this movie failing because they're like, oh, if this movie fails, and they're going to sell Warner Brothers to somebody else. And if they sell it to somebody else, then we that means we get to get what we want. Because they'll be so desperate.
Who do they think they're gonna get? Who's gonna get it?
They don't care. They just want to get sold so that way they can get what they want.
But it's not gonna go to Zack.
Their logic, though, is that it'll be sold off into pieces, and then somebody can they'll license out the Snyderverse to somebody. That's the logic, at least.
That's a stupid logic. They're gonna sell it. They should just get Rican and make the movie. Yeah, with his AI comic book art. Let me tell you, it's just so weird that this is still going on. I fell off because I just got so tired of repeating the same talking points. That's just a factual talking points, by the way. And it just got so vexing because I'm like, dude, why are we even arguing with these people? They have smooth brains and they don't actually know what they're talking about. But at this point, it's like, dude, I have to come back and combat it because somebody's got to do it. Somebody's got to push back against these clowns. And I see Skywalker getting good numbers over there because he's again perpetuating a bunch of bullshit through this fandom.
Yeah. No, I mean, yeah, I 100% understand. I mean, it's getting crazy out here where it's like now they're saying that I saw that they did a live stream, like the one with Sil on the thumbnail, I think it was, or a different one. I think it was the one with Sil on it though. Where they're all like, yeah, this is turning into a Captain Marvel situation because they're moving the goalposts. They're like, Hollywood is protecting James Gunn. They're moving the goalposts because he's just an upward failure. They're moving the goalposts because Josh from Dead and Nerd says the movie doesn't have to turn a profit to be successful. So they're moving the goalposts to protect James Gunn and and uh, and all this. It's just like, oh my god. But then the other crazy part I saw too is that they're saying that James Gunn stole the script for Man of Steel 2 and made it his own.
What?
Yes, that's part of the new narrative that he stole Man of Steel 2 script and they took that script and turned it into his movie.
Okay. How? Based on what proof?
Because Brainiac might be in the movie, and Man of Steel 2 is gonna have Brainiac. Therefore, he stole it.
That makes no sense.
Yeah,
Brainiac
I
is
know.
literally a Superman's villain. Like it's we haven't seen Brainiac on the big screen, so now we're getting him, and now it's stolen.
Yeah, he stole the script.
Oh my god! Like this is what I'm talking about. These people come up with the most weirdest conspiracy theories based on literally
Oh no, no, no.
nothing.
Here's the other thing too. Here's the other funny part. Uh, there was a whole because I got sent a clip, but they're basically like their new conspiracies that they think that part of the reason why Zack Snyder was pushed out by Hollywood and didn't get to finish his Justice League story is because Hollywood was going full woke with all these franchises, and Zack Snyder doesn't do woke movies. So because he refused to go woke, they kicked him out.
Oh my god! But didn't we? You said that last night, and didn't I bring up the point that like he used the black iris from
No,
the
I know that
Flash?
was the funny part. Like Skywalker was all like, "Well, yeah, because Zach he does diversity. Uh, he doesn't do it in a fake way. He does it in a genuine way because he just uses black characters. Like he doesn't do any race swaps." And I'm just like, "Oh my god!" And then I totally didn't even think about that, but you were all like, "Yeah, well, no, there was a race swap. Iris West was race swapped."
Yeah, they used. I mean, yeah, they used Iris, black version of Iris West in the Flash. Even in the Snyder cut, that's what he did. He cast a black woman to play Iris West, which people were like, yeah, but they used her. She was black in the CW show. I'm like, okay, so like, I don't think it had anything to do with that. I think they will just throw shit at the wall and hope something sticks, and that's what's happening. A lot of their bullshit has been sticking to a lot of the fans who are really just too I don't want to call them stupid, but like maybe their passion is blinding them to the facts behind all this bullshit they're peddling, and that's probably what's really going on, because there's no other explanation that I have to why these fans are listening to this nonsense and then attacking other people for calling it out.
Yeah, it's just getting weird out here. Like, I don't know. I don't know how deep I can go on your streams. I guess I can go pretty deep, but like,
Oh, I was gonna say careful your choice of words, but also yeah, go in, RJ, go
well, I'm
in.
just saying, like, what are they gonna do if this movie is successful? And I mean
Cry
that
about
like
it or talk
genuinely. We're just
come out.
like, are they gonna like do you cry? Like, are they gonna be like start getting suicidal? Like, are they still
No,
gonna
what they're
start being
gonna
like,
do? Don't say that, because then you know what they're gonna say. Oh, you guys are making fun of the people with suicide. Suicide prevention guys. Even though we definitely have told y'all that you guys should go off yourselves.
yeah, I know.
The irony of that. No, what they're going to do, RJ, you know what they're going to do. They're going to find a way to spin it and say, well, it was bots. It was bots or something, or oh, it was successful because it was a setup, guys. Let's come up with another conspiracy theory on why this didn't fail like we said it was. They'll find a way to spin it. They always do. They always have it. It always gets more crazier and crazier, the things they say. Right, fake reviews, paid critics, WP paid for theaters to boost numbers. The movie is still bad. People just have bad taste. Yeah, they're gonna say all that shit. I agree with Eddie on that one because that's literally the shit they've said before.
Well, because on that same stream they're talking about, oh, it's gonna be like Captain Marvel, to where they move the goalposts, they do all these weird things to like make it seem like it was successful. Like I genuinely believe this. Like even if this movie makes like $1 billion, they're gonna say, oh, it's fake. They bought the tickets. Like Warner Brothers bought the tickets to make it look like it was successful.
Which is funny because didn't they like get mad at people saying that about Zack Snyder's film?
Did they? I don't remember that.
I'm pretty sure they made the same claim about people saying that about Zack's films.
It wouldn't surprise me.
I mean, it wouldn't surprise me either. These people are absolutely cooked.
I mean, there's just yeah, a lot of them are genuinely, I think, insane.
Oh, there's no doubt they're insane. Because what type of people really are gonna sit there and make up the most absurd things like James Gunn is a paid plant by Marvel?
Oh no,
Like,
yeah, they still think that, by the way. They still think that the whole goal is to water down DC so they can do a Marvel versus DC crossover. That's the whole point of all of this. I think they're even jumping to the fact that they think that the whole plan is for Hollywood to have James Gunn take over both Marvel and DC as like the true, as like the ruler of all of this stuff.
do
Like
they
that's
not
like the master plan.
understand? They do not understand that movie directors, work for different, companies, basically different. Like they get contracted to work in film. It doesn't matter if it's Marvel or DC. They get contracted to work on these films. Like, like what do you mean?
I know, but still, I mean, this is where we're at with this. Uh, Again, I don't know what they're gonna do if this movie's successful. I really don't, because just the way that they're acting, it's just like it's gonna get crazy.
That's the weird part, though. It shouldn't be that. It's movies. Like, imagine being so pressed over the entertainment industry like this. Like, it's not that deep. It's never that deep. Yet
I
here
know,
we are.
I know, but this is where we're at with it, you know.
Well, I don't know, man. All I know is I gotta get back into the game because I love pissing these people off. I love triggering them. I love when they get mad. I mean, they still talk about me till this day, even though I barely have even said anything to them or about them.
They still talk about you?
They haven't. They
I
haven't
haven't
in a
heard.
bit,
Like
but I know.
I get sent clips, but I really don't watch them that much anymore. I just look at their thumbnails or get sent clips and just laugh.
I don't think I don't think they've talked to me about me like recently, but they were definitely like when I disappeared for a while and stopped talking about them, they were still talking shit and still saying things that weren't true, like about what happened on that charity stream. That will always piss me off because like that I hate getting blamed for shit I didn't actually do.
Oh yeah, no, I completely understand that. That is annoying.
And it was worse because people believe that happened. Like I remember a certain person who I'm not going to say the name, but you know who I'm talking about. He streamed about it, and when they mentioned what happened, he made it seem like he wasn't surprised that I would do that. And I'm sitting there like, are you guys serious right now? Like, are you actually fucking serious right now? You guys really think that I was gonna do that? I was like, no, I did what I was told to do, which is, time people out if they were spamming, which I barely did it to many people, but the people who weren't even spamming weren't even the usual suspects. Those people weren't spamming. I know that they got mad because at the end of the stream I was talking shit, but like I didn't time them out. I just talked shit. And then they screenshot and say, what kind of mod does this? Me, I do that. Cause like y'all know what you did. And I said, like, you guys don't know the whole story. Like those people that I was talking shit to in the chat, like the people who hosted that charity stream were these women. They're the Nerds Queens channel, right? And they're lovely girls. And these fans, the people we're talking about, and the ones that were lying and saying that I was timing them or whatever, like they said some awful things about these girls. They made fun of them, their appearances. They called them witches, all kinds of crazy shit.
Yeah. Well, I know. I think some of them specifically were like, "Oh, one of them looks like Uncle Fester."
Yeah, they said some
I
awful
remember
things
that.
about these girls. And that's why I even got a mod position in the first place, is because they asked me, because they didn't follow all these people like that. Like, they didn't know all of the usernames, they only knew a few of them. So they asked if I recognize any of these crazy people, to just, keep an eye on them, and if they say anything disrespectful, obviously get rid of them, or if they're spamming, get rid of the spam. And I was like, okay. And that's the main reason. But when they saw the comments of me mocking those people, they ran with it, they twisted, they made it sound like I was just being a toxic person for no reason. I'm like, no, I was calling out the people who came to this channel because Zack Snyder was on the panel. And I remember all the nasty things they said about these girls who Zack Snyder considers friends. And I wasn't gonna let them slide. I wasn't gonna let it slide. And then they want to talk about me being toxic. Yep, you are right. When it comes to people like that, I will be toxic as hell to you and not care. They've false struck my channels before. They've done all kinds of stuff, but we don't talk about that, right? We don't talk about that. I'm toxic, guys, but they've falsely struck my channel before.
Yeah, it's wild.
It is wild, but it's nice to talk about it again and reminisce. Because I mean, like I said, me and RJ, we went through the trenches with these people, and they harassed RJ to death.
Yeah,
Yep.
yeah.
And which is crazy, because like you really didn't do anything, and even though they did all that stuff to you, you really didn't go absolutely nuts on them. I would have. I mean, I did, but
Yeah, they really, their hatred for me was really intense, which I thought was really funny. Like, for some reason, like me specifically was just like their biggest target.
yeah, because they thought you were talking to James Gunn. They thought that James Gunn was paying you or something, so they had to I guess try to go after you because James Gunn doesn't give them any attention.
Yeah.
Like the one time James Gunn gave them attention, I remember Sil doing that stream about, we're just trying to be positive, even though like the people Sil was hanging out with at the time called James Gunn an F slur, like we're just trying to be positive. Yeah, James Gunn's an F slur for using new metal rock in his peacekeeper show. Like what?
Yeah, they still call him like a pedophile and all this. That he's a yeah. They have like drops. They really have leaned towards the fact that like, oh, he's a pedophile. He's this that. Da, 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 da. He's making movies for these children and putting in this weird messaging.
Yeah, even though, Zach literally said that James Gunn was his friend. No, he was just be
He's,
professional,
he
guys.
still he still says that he's his friend.
Right, James Gunn literally
He
posted a
literally did like a
picture.
Fandango interview today where they were all like where he literally said that, oh yeah, I called up Zack Snyder and I asked him for advice if I should like put the trunks on Superman or not. Like today that came out, and I'm just like, they're gonna say this is fake. That oh, it's not true.
Wait, what was it? What was the interview? Hold
Yeah,
on, there was an interview
They did like a Fandango interview to coincide with the tickets
with
going
Gunn.
on sale today. And he said like, yeah, I called Zack Snyder up when we were deciding the costume. Like, we were talking about if we should put the trunks on him or not for the costume. Like, Zack explained why he didn't put the trunks on Superman for his costume because he's like he wanted to, but he couldn't get it to work. Like, it just didn't look right.
So he still talks to Zack Snyder till this day.
Yeah, he still calls him.
Let me look. Let me just look at the article. I think I found the article. Oh my
Yeah,
god, I hate these websites that redirect you.
yeah. I mean, I think the interview's on YouTube too. It's like the very first thing they talk about.
Oh, it's you. Hold on, because my computer is slow as hell. It's slow as
Yeah, you can
hell.
just look up like Fandango. It
Let
should
me
be like the
see.
first thing that pops up.
Fandango. Oh, here we go. 8 hours ago, the Superman cast talks about. Okay, here we go. Let's get to the interview part.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to our big ticket interview for Superman. I'm Perry Nemiroff, and I'm lucky enough to be sitting next to Nicholas Hoult, James Gunn, David Corenswet, and Rachel Brosnahan. Early congratulations on the movie. I cannot wait to see it.
Awesome. We're so happy you could be here, Perry.
I got many, many questions. I'm
Let's
about
do
to
it.
interrogate you right now, beginning with you, James. Big two-parter to start here. Can you tell me a little bit about making sure that this movie feels like a full story all on its own, but also doesn't necessarily set up other films, but just tease up your growing DC film universe for success going forward?
Well, I mean, I think the most important thing is that this works as a movie by itself. It's a complete story with a beginning, a middle, and an end. It's an important part of the life of all three of the characters that these people play. That's by far the most important. At the same time, we're introducing a whole new world, which is a lot of fun. You know, we're in an alternate reality where superheroes have existed for 300 years. And now we're just picking up on the story of one particular superhero 3 years after he comes on the scene, who happens to be the most powerful metahuman of all time.
Powerful metahuman of all time, and one with a super cool suit, which is where I'm going to go next with you, David. I imagine you love the entire Superman suit, but I'm just a nerd for the details. So can you maybe pinpoint like a little detail, tiny aspect of it that you really appreciated and maybe informed how you played the character?
The cape really makes a big difference. It's the unsung hero of the suit. Most of the fittings don't include the cape, and it is literally the last thing to go on before you go on set. It just changes the silhouette and the way it flows behind you. It just adds gravitas to the thing, I think.
I have to imagine it's the coolest thing ever when you get to put on the suit and then show it not only to your co-stars, but your friends and family. So that was making me wonder, is there any particular reaction to you in the suit that, I don't know, is the most memorable or is the most fun to think about?
I sort of forgot that I was wearing the suit. I would wear it a lot. And so
Around your house.
Yeah. But I do remember the first day we did camera tests before we started shooting, coming on and seeing Nick and Rachel for the first time, and them seeing me for the first time. I must admit, I felt a little self-conscious. Like I hadn't gotten used to the suit yet. I hadn't filled the boots yet with my own sense of confidence. So to have them see me and sort of go like, "Oh, that looks pretty cool. Like that works pretty well." That meant a lot.
I don't like to describe myself as giddy, but I was giddy. I was like grinning from ear to ear. I was blown away. I was very
I'm
excited.
waiting for them to get to the
I think one of the fun things also was every time kids came on set.
That was the best.
really
I think it's
is
Dex. I think
like
it's Dex.
you know, and all the kids are just like, oh my gosh, it's Superman. And in a way, I think it's even more powerful than seeing somebody like in a Spider-Man or Batman costume or something, because it's him. He's there. And they really would get so excited. It was so fun to watch.
Oh, my son was in complete awe.
Yeah.
It was magic to see his face, seeing you. That was
Yeah, although I remember your son's favorite character was Mr. Handsome.
me then, Mr. Handsome. No, it was Mr. Handsome. He kept on talking about Mr. Handsome the whole time. He would be laying in bed and then he'd be like, Dad, Mr. Handsome.
Mr. Handsome is Lex's, creature he created in a petri dish that drives around on this, flying platform.
Strange alien.
I'm
The
waiting for it.
ugliest, grossest creature in the world. And for some reason, also, I remember one of our producers, Chantal, her son also was just obsessed with Mr. Handsome.
He sticks with you.
He's pretty cool.
As a kid who grew up and still loves everything genre, I have a feeling that would probably be a personal favorite as well. David, I want to follow up briefly on something you had just said. When you first put the suit on, you didn't feel like you filled the boots. Do you remember the specific moment when you had confidence and thought you filled the boots and you were Superman?
When you put the lifts in.
No lifts and boots.
Just for the record.
Yeah, I think it was at the end of the first week of shooting. We shot part of the sequence that you see in the teaser trailer where the kaiju is blasting fire in Metropolis. And that was my first moment as Superman getting to check on people. There's a moment where I just check in with the bystanders and make sure that everybody's okay. And that felt like a very Superman moment where I sort of wasn't worried about myself or how I looked anymore or the fact that I was strung up by wires. I was just worried about, everybody else.
Definitely feels right in the finished product. I can't wait to see more, but in that trailer, just absolutely nailed it. James, we'll stick with the suit a little more with you now, because I love hearing about how these types of things
Here it
evolve.
comes.
So I am curious, what did you picture your Superman suit looking like day one, and how does it compare to the finished version everyone's going to see in the final film?
The only thing I knew is that I didn't want it to look too much like a wet T-shirt. You know, I didn't want to have muscles that were, built into the suit. I wanted to create, a world where metahumans actually existed, but that also they wore these uniforms for various reasons, and that it was in a way a uniform. So I just kind of went from there, working with Juliana, who did all my costumes for Guardians of the Galaxy, and just kind of taking it, bit by bit by bit by bit, until we ended up with the beautiful suit that we ended up with. And, also getting David's input, frankly, was, as we started to build it up around him, getting his ideas. One of the biggest questions was, were we going to have trunks, or we were going to, not have trunks? I talked to Zack Snyder, who was like, I tried a billion different versions with the trunks. And at the end of the day, I tried it, but I couldn't get there. And I was feeling exactly the same way. And Juliana and I talked, and she said, all right, well, I'm going to try, we'll do one version where we try both trunks and not trunks. I went in with David. He tried in not trunks, and he tried it trunks. And I still was going to go with not trunks. And then you said, well, you wanted trunks in theory. You like theoretically, I like the idea of trunks because it's Superman I grew up with. But the problem is they look kind of silly. You were looking for a way to make them look cool, or you were looking for a function, an explanation for having them. Reason why they were there. Yeah. And my thing was just maybe they're supposed to look a little silly. Maybe the reason he wears them is to look a little silly, basically to undermine how powerful he really is. In this version of the DCU, everyone knows he's an alien. He shoots beams out of his eyes. He can blow things down with his breath. He's sort of this terrifying creature.
Okay, I just wanted to hear that part because, I wanted to listen to the rest of it because it wasn't just the fact that he said, I called Zack Snyder and talked to Zack Snyder about it.
Yeah, we talked about it.
We talked about it. And this was recently, so it's the fact that these Zack Snyder
probably
fans,
when they were starting to do the costume design before they started filming, making the costume, figuring out what to
And the thing about these Zack Snyder fans and why I wanted to play that clip so everyone heard it is because they are under this weird impression that Zack Snyder and James Gunn aren't friends, and that the whole theories that they have revolving about Zack Snyder and James Gunn, it goes out the window. It should go out the window, right? Because you have James Gunn has gone on record numerous times. He even answered questions on Twitter. Remember that, RJ, when people were asking him about Zack, and he's like, I talked to Zack and, wanted to see what he thought and, see if he even wanted to come back and do any of these projects. And Zack said, nah, I'm doing Rebel Moon. You do your thing. But they don't want to listen to James Gunn's word. They just assume that Zack, we don't know that. We need to hear it from Zack. Well, Zack doesn't care about y'all like that. He really doesn't care about y'all like that. So he was working on Rebel Moon when this all stuff was being talked about. When the DC slate came out, before James Gunn even started doing anything, Zack was already working on Rebel Moon. That was what he was doing with Netflix. That's why these fans try to do the whole, he's going over Netflix. We should be getting our focus on getting him to do this over Netflix. That was their logic, and they just ignored it. Zack went on a YouTube channel and said, I don't know if you guys remember, but me and James Gunn worked on a movie together. We worked on one of those, which one was it that they worked on?
Dawn of the Dead.
Dawn of the Dead, that one, yeah. They said, me and James Gunn worked on Dawn of the Dead together. That's we're colleagues and we're friends. He's my friend, because somebody asked what what he thought about James Gunn's, stuff over there. And what's funny is when Zack said that, the fans try to gloss over it and he was just being professional. No, he said it because he knew that a lot of his fans were going after James Gunn, and he wanted to make it very clear that he was friends with James Gunn. He was, he reminded everybody, we worked on movies together. Of course we're friends. Why are you guys attacking him? I can't wait to see. And what's funny? What's funny, RJ? You know Zack Snyder is already bought his ticket to go see this movie to support James Gunn, and because he's also a Superman fan.
Oh yeah, 100%.
And he wants to see James Gunn's version of Superman, and I guarantee you, he likes the version. See, the thing about these fans that they don't understand is Zack is not a friggin' asshole like you all are. He's not an asshole. He is a director himself. And he's not the type of person who's going to shit on somebody else's property that he also worked on and did a version of. He's not going to shit on it because you know why? Because Zack still knows that even if he didn't like James Gunn's version, he still will like his version. It doesn't matter. He's not that crazy like y'all. Zack just wants to create art. And the fans are the ones that are making it so bad for him. Because now people are unjustifiably at this point, I don't know why I always mix those words up, but unjustifiably attacking Zack Snyder because of his fans. And that's not Zack's fault, that's y'all's fault.
Yeah. Yeah. No, for sure. I mean, I feel like Zack probably gets a lot more pushback and hate from people because people have been so burned by his fans.
100%. And yeah, no, you're right. Because like that is exactly what's gonna happen. When Zack sees the film, he's gonna go on his phone and either text James Gunn or call him and say, dude, I just saw your movie. Fantastic job. And they'll probably, and you know what's funny? Zack will probably be like, oh, you know, I'm glad you got I'm glad. And you know what's funny? When Zack probably saw the suit, right? Because he asked Zack about the trunks, you know, and why Zack didn't put the trunks on Henry Cavill's Superman, right? And now seeing the suit, I guarantee you Zack hit him up, was like, nah, you did good with the suit. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's just crazy.
I want to propose a theory to you.
Are we gonna do theories now?
I've heard some rumors. Okay.
Okay.
So let's say, I'm not saying this is happening, but they're doing the premiere of Superman July 7th, I think, in LA. How do you think people would react if, say, Zack Snyder and Henry Cavill were there at the premiere?
Oh, that would blow up the internet.
Like, if they were actually there, they attended the premiere, like, walked the red carpet or took pictures with them, with the cast or something.
Oh, that would blow up the internet.
I'm not saying that's going to happen, but, like, if that were to happen,
I'm
just curious how, like, the people who, like, hate, you know, who are so anti, you know, all this and that, like, how they would react.
Oh, they would probably say that Henry Cavill and Zack have been manipulated or something. I mean,
or this is all part of the plan.
I can tell you right now, Zack would more likely show up for the premiere, right? Zack would more than likely show up. He's friends with James Gunn. I can see Zack showing up. Henry would be a 50-50. I think that there might, you know, see, I would say it's a 50-50, but I'd say if Henry were to show up, it would probably be because he is a fan of Superman, and again, since he played it, Henry Cavill's another one. Like these Henry Cavill and Zack Snyder are not people who are gonna like gatekeep projects they worked on, and Henry Cavill's not gonna gatekeep, you know, characters he played. Like look at Witcher. He walked away from Witcher because he had creative disagreements with the people writing it because he was a fan of the show, and he walked away from that, and that was a big gig for him, right? And he walked away from that. He stepped down. James Gunn did not fire Henry Cavill because Henry Cavill was not hired to come back. That's the thing that he
never fired him. That's the thing. He just chose not to use him. Like he never had a contract. That's like the biggest misconception that people have about the situation. Like it wasn't a case where he fired him. He's just like, you're not under contract. I want to do something else. I don't want to use you as my Superman. I want to do something else. Like you know, you can feel about that however you want to, but he never fired him. People keep saying that he fired him because it's you know, the word fired has like a more negative connotation. You know, people freak out. It's like, oh, he fired him. It's like, no, he didn't fire him. He just chose not to use it. There's a difference.
Right. And Henry Cavill, his response when all that was very graceful.
I'm sure he's pissed though.
Oh, I'm sure. Well, because the whole thing with the Black Adam cameo, you know,
yeah.
He was
kind of. Again, that whole situation was a mess. Everybody knows it was a mess. You know,
right? And that wasn't on James Gunn.
I'm sure everybody involved wishes they could have done that differently or handled that differently because it was a mess. It was.
Right, but they blamed James Gunn for that and Peter Safran. It was like that decision wasn't even made by those guys. That was something that was basically set up before they even got the keys to the friggin' building, you know? So, I mean, you can't blame somebody for coming into a situation already in progress and then making a decision not to continue. But the thing is, right? Gunn also had said when this all thing was going on is that, you know, he was going to find, if he wanted to, some of these actors, he'd find something for them to do, you know, as far as being part of this universe. We already know Jason Momoa, that whole, you know, rumor that I don't know if it's confirmed. RJ could probably say if it's confirmed because you followed it way more than I do, about Jason Momoa coming back to play a different character instead of playing.
Oh yeah, no, that's been confirmed. Yeah, he was cast as Lobo. He's played Lobo in the Supergirl movie.
Right.
So he came back to DC to do that. Yeah.
Right. And here's the thing. James Gunn
by the way, they're pissed about that, saying Jason Momoa betrayed Zack. Why would he do this? He betrayed Zack. How could he do this? Why is he working for James Gunn and he's being friends with him now and being friendly on social media? It's like, oh my God.
That's the weird part about these guys, right? Is that they have a very parasocial relationship with Zack, but it's also like, these actors, these people in the industry, right? These are fucking jobs. These are jobs for them. And Jason Momoa still has a working relationship with Zack. When I mean working relationship, I mean if Zack has another project,
cool.
Right? Like Ray Fisher. Zack had Ray Fisher come back and be in Rebel Moon. There is possibilities for Jason Momoa to work with Zack again. So of course they're gonna keep it. There's no betrayal. It's called business. And these fucking YouTubers don't know shit about the business. They don't know shit about the industry, but they talk as if they do. And if they say enough words that make the fans have a sliver of hope, they're going to fucking fling that at you guys and hope you catch it and keep coming back for more shit they're flinging at you. Because that's all it is shit. It's shit. And RJ and myself, like, we at this point, because of all our pushback against these people, like, I'll be honest, like, me and RJ have had people in I won't say in the industry, but people who have insider scoops, people who work within the industry, you know, talk to us about the shit that we've been saying on streams, and they're like, you guys are spot on. Like, everything you're saying is spot on. It's like, yeah, it doesn't take a rocket scientist to know basic business practices, guys. It's basic business. Like, if you know basic business, then it's easy to see exactly what they're doing. Like, when you were on Matt Jarbo's stream last night, RJ, and was cooking him like a fillet of fish. Yeah, man, I'm talking shit. You cooking him. Like, Matt's whole thing was, like, talking about the reboots. Well, they shouldn't have done a reboot. Yes, they should have. Because at this point, people want to forget. All the time they forget. Warner Brothers was in the process of a merger. Okay, they were basically selling the company and merging it with another company. They wanted this company to apprehend them. But what did they need to do? They needed properties, they needed projects to properly sell the idea, like, you should want us because look what we can do with your business. Because WB was like, we don't want to do this no more. We want somebody else to take the reins. So they had to sell it so that another company was going to buy them, you know, and say, yes, we'll do this. That's what it was about. It's about money. And when RJ was bringing that up, Matt was like, nah, they didn't have to do a reboot. Bro, what do you mean? They do reboots all the time. How many Batmans have we had? How many Supermans have we had?
Spider-Man.
You know what I'm saying? How many of these people, you know, especially Batman and Superman, because we just now got, you know, all the other superheroes. But when it comes to Superman and Batman in particular, Michael Keaton, Val Kilmer, George Clooney, Christian Bale, Ben Affleck, Superman, Christopher Reeves. I don't know all the Supermans. You help me out.
Yeah, like, you get the point though. Yeah.
Right. There have been so many remakes of Superman and Batman. At this point, a reboot is imminent, especially with Marvel. You think Marvel's not going to start doing reboots? They're going to start doing reboots too. All the actors are getting too old to reprise their role. Hell, they friggin' got Robert Downey Jr. to not come back as friggin' Iron Man, but to come back as Victor Doom. Okay? So, like,
yeah, like, do you not think that they're not going to ever recast or, like, redo something eventually? It's like, hey, we're doing a reboot. We're like, the storyline's resetting and all these characters are getting recast. Like, one day that'll probably happen.
Right. Like, right now, Marvel hasn't got there because, again, Marvel started late in the game. And people like to forget that too when people compare Marvel to DC. Marvel started late. They didn't have Spider-Man. They didn't have Fantastic Four. They didn't have X-Men. They didn't have a lot of properties because Marvel had to sell the IP, sell the companies just to stay in business in the comic book game, guys. The comic book game. They had to stay in business. They were going to be bankrupt. So they had to sell their top-selling characters to Sony, to Fox, and now they just got the rights back to a lot of their characters that they now are making movies about, right? How long? They had to start Marvel Studios without Spider-Man, without Fantastic Four, and without X-Men and mutants, okay? So they started with, Captain America, Iron Man, and so on until they finally got a lot of these characters back, and they still don't have Spider-Man, by the way. They still
they still share it with somebody else.
Yeah, they still share it with Sony, but they don't own Spider-Man, so they are also limited to what they can do with Spider-Man. They have to ask Sony for permission. Spider-Man is Marvel's superhero, and they still have to ask permission to use Spider-Man. So when people argue between DC and Marvel, keep in mind, Marvel had to start with not their A team. They had to start with the B team and make those B team characters A team characters. Okay? So DC's been doing Batman and Superman before they just now started doing what Marvel's doing. Oh shit, you know what? Maybe it's time we do a Justice League because Marvel has the Avengers. Well, we got to get the Justice League out here now. And they had to do it. So how do they need to do it? Well, we got to do what Marvel did. Standalone movies for Aquaman to introduce Aquaman. Standalone movies for Wonder Woman to introduce Wonder Woman. And then we'll introduce more characters in the Justice League to get them on board. So then we can decide about if we're going to make standalone movies for them. That's what DC did. Okay? So when it comes to business, that's business, man. DC had to do what they needed to do. So they did what they needed to do with the properties they had, right? And they had to sell these movie ideas to Discovery or whoever was going to merge with them. And that's when Discovery said, you know what? I like what you did over there. I like what we're seeing. We're going to do it. But they said, we're going to reboot. And by the way, again, another fun fact that these Zack Snyder fans always forget, RJ, you remember the whole point that Warner Brothers were already planning on rebooting after the Justice League anyways?
Well, yeah, the whole point is that eventually they were going to reboot no matter what because, Zack only wanted to tell like a 5-movie story or whatever that was.
Right. Why is James Gunn making a Supergirl movie? Because we haven't had a Supergirl movie
There hasn't been a Supergirl movie since the 70s.
Yeah, I was going to say, there hasn't been a Supergirl movie since the 70s. So why not make a Supergirl movie?
Plus, that's like a popular character that you could do stories with that connects right to Superman, too.
Yeah, and we haven't seen Supergirl and Superman on the big screen together since we got The Flash. And we didn't even get Superman and Supergirl together because Superman was already gone. So I think that doing Supergirl is a good idea to bring her into it because she is part of the Superman universe and it's not a bad thing, and I like the ideas that he's coming up with, James Gunn, right now, as far as like instead of doing a Wonder Woman movie, he's going to do like a Wonder Woman-ish TV show, which is not even about Wonder Woman, it's about the Amazonians.
Yeah.
Which is great. It's basically going to be kind of like Xena Warrior Princess. And I love that idea. I love that he's doing something different and unique with these stories. And we're going to get the Green Lantern Corps TV show too, where it's like more of like a detective, a Green Lanterns type story. Like, I like that he's doing it in TV shows too. And it's not just movies because I think that he wants to do more with the storytelling as far as in TV format than do it in a movie where he has to condense it to a couple of hours.
Mm-hmm. Oh, for sure. Yeah. I think they want to be flexible and tell stories in like different formats too, where it's like, hey, you do movies and TV shows, I mean, everybody's doing TV shows now, TV, especially because they got all these streaming services.
Mm-hmm. And by the way, everyone freaking out about Guy Gardner. I had talks with a hardcore Green Lantern fan.
Oh yeah, and people like it's like, oh, he looks stupid. He's stupid. This is dumb.
But because they're not comic book fans like that, that's why.
But I think also too they missed the point that his haircut's supposed to be ridiculous and stupid. Like it's kind of the point.
I mean, it was like that in the comic book when it was an ongoing gag. But I said many times, I said, what's going to happen is he's gonna cut his hair. He's gonna cut his hair and get the traditional cut he had in the comic book. Because I talked about this with a hardcore, like, I mean, this dude is a hardcore Green Lantern fan. And we were talking about it because he asked me, he's like, "Oh, did you see the Superman Legacy trailer?" And I was like, yeah, you know, on YouTube, everyone's freaking out about it. He's like, "Oh, these people are dumb." And he's like, "Yeah," he mentioned something about, like, I said, "Oh, Guy Gardner." They're giving Guy Gardner a hard time with this haircut. And he's like, "Yeah, that's how you know these people are stupid and they're not actual fans, because that was his haircut in the comic books." And he eventually cut his hair, but it was supposed to be ridiculous. Like, that was a point. His character is a little bit of a ridiculous character. So it makes sense. And that's from a hardcore Green Lantern fan who's not a YouTuber. He's just a normal person out on these streets. And he said it was fine. He said he's excited to see Guy Gardner get on the big screen, because, like, nobody even really knows who Guy Gardner is compared to, like, the Green Lanterns we know, Jon Stewart and Hal Jordan, you know?
Yeah, I mean, he, you know, plus too, it's like okay, if we were only getting Guy Gardner, I could just be like, that kind of sucks, because you want to see the other characters. We're getting a Green Lantern show like next year, early next year, with like Hal Jordan, Jon Stewart. Like, you're getting the more serious, well-known characters in a few months. Like, it's not like they're not doing anything with them either. But again, I think it's just some people just looking for a reason to get upset and just be like, just to complain about stuff.
Right, they're complaining about stuff because it's like, I remember when we first started talking about all this movie talk stuff, and one of the things that was always a consistent issue was, like, people were always complaining about, like, well, we need to get more characters in these movies, and we need to do this. And now James Gunn is doing that. James Gunn is introducing, just like Marvel, like, characters that are not more known in the DC, you know, in the DC universe. Unless you were a comic book reader that read every single comic book that existed, now we're getting, instead of Hal Jordan or Jon Stewart, we're gonna get Guy Gardner. And yes, he's not the Green Lantern that you probably want to see, but, like, it kind of will make sense. It's gonna make sense when the movie comes out why they chose Guy Gardner, and it is gonna kind of set up the hype for the Green Lantern TV show, which is great for Nathan Fillion. I love Nathan Fillion. I think he's hilarious. Nathan Fillion is, like, literally the most funniest guy for me. Like, he's a cool dude, and I'm glad that I'm also glad they got Nathan Fillion to play a Green Lantern.
Well, they also forget that Nathan Fillion is, like, he's a big Green Lantern guy, because he's voiced Green Lantern, like, a lot of the cartoons and the video games. Like, nobody thinks about that part either. Yeah,
Geek said that. He's like, you know, Nathan Fillion has been voicing Hal for years in DC.
He's voiced Hal Jordan in animated movies and video games for, like, years now. So it's kind of cool. That's, like, full circle moment. I guess to get to play a live action. It's not Hal Jordan, but it's still, you know, it's a Green Lantern.
Nathan Fillion's a little too old at this point to be playing Hal Jordan. Maybe back then when he was coming up fresh off of Firefly, maybe. Maybe. But him playing Hal Jordan now probably in live action wouldn't suit him, but, you know, him playing a Green Lantern, like, people, you know, you think the fans would appreciate that, you know, that little Easter egg, because it's an Easter egg if you know that, because I didn't even know that Nathan Fillion did the voices, but, like, that's a cool Easter egg to know, is that, you know, full circle, right? Like you said, full circle. And Peacemaker season 2 looks interesting. Yeah, I mean, again, everyone just wants to shit on James Gunn because they want to be relevant and they want to be famous on the platform. It has nothing to do with Zack Snyder. It really does. I'm telling you guys, it has very little to do with supporting Zack Snyder and all to do with growing their own YouTube channels and being leaders of a hashtag cult, basically. And if you guys do not get in line, well, you're not a real fan. So everybody in my chat, everything you guys are not real fans. None of you guys are real fans. You're all fake fans, because if you think that James Gunn and this Superman movie is going to be amazing, you're not real fans of Superman. You can't be. Why? If you're a real fan of Superman,
you're either a shill or you have bad taste.
Yeah, you guys have bad taste. You're not a real fan. You're not real fans. It's really sad. There's two John Cenas. At first, I wasn't keen on Nathan as Guy, but I'm coming around. I think Nathan Fillion will be a good Guy Gardner. He has definitely a very personality. One thing I like about Nathan Fillion is, like, he definitely adapts to the roles he's in. I mean, fun fact, you know, Nathan Fillion played himself in Big Mouth.
Oh, did he?
Yes, Nathan Fillion played himself in Big Mouth. He was so one of the characters in Big Mouth, her name is Missy Greenwald, right? And she is this half black, half white girl who's very, very smart and really good in school, and she's a nerd. And she's a huge Nathan Fillion fan, and she usually has fantasies about being in a relationship with Nathan Fillion where like they're on a spaceship, she's a captain, and Nathan Fillion is always trying to woo her. And again, it's just a fantasy, right? He usually is like a poster on her wall that sometimes talks to her. And then in the last season of Big Mouth, Nathan does a voice of a character named Nate, who Missy is going to high school with now. And he basically plays her love interest. And Nathan Fillion was actually really hilarious in Big Mouth. And he was just so funny. And I like that for Nathan Fillion, because, you know, even after his biggest and probably best show he's ever been in, which was Firefly, you know, he went on to do a lot of voice acting. He's really good at what he does. You know, I like this comment right here. Gunn has legit earned my trust, not a birthday party clown who hates just to hate. I'm excited to give it a chance. I'm glad you're excited. And the thing is, if you're not excited, that's fine. But I wish people would just stop pushing their ideals on other people, other fans, because there are fans who are excited for this just because it's Superman. They don't care if it's James Gunn. They don't care if it's Zack Snyder. They just want to see good movies and entertainment. They want to see good stories with these characters that they love. And these fans like fucking Skywalker the Jedi and all fucking the Sil Abdul, all these fucking YouTubers out here really just want to take that away from them.
Have you heard of some of the newer YouTubers that have popped up that you would probably have a blast reacting to? There's Aaron Fisher, and there's Harsh Critics. Harsh Critics started a movement called the hashtag wallets closed.
Oh my god.
Where wallets closed, that you will not pay for anything Warner Brothers or DC until they restore the Snyderverse. Hashtag
But see, here's the thing, right? I respect that way more, because that is what, didn't we say that a long time ago, RJ? Said if you guys really want Hollywood to listen to you, stop paying for this stuff. He's right. He's right to do that. That is the right thing to do. I can't even be mad at that. I know
it's still funny though.
Oh, it's funny. We should go back to the hashtag we run with Gunn.
Yeah.
We need to get the hashtag war going again. Remember how much chaos that caused? They were so mad.
Oh yeah, they still talk about it. They're still pissed about it.
Oh my god, guys. So me and RJ came up with this hashtag we run with Gunn when James Gunn was working at DC, and he just got, you know, into the studios and started cooking, right? You know, and the hashtag we, you know, sell Zack's, you know, Justice League to Zack's Netflix or whatever, sell Zack Snyder's Justice League Netflix was trending, right? And they were pushing that. So me and RJ said, you know what, why don't we just push back and just, you know, do something and get the fans excited for new DC stuff? And we said, we came up with the hashtag we run with Gunn. And then we were doing that. And oh my god, they were so mad at us for coming up with that hashtag. They were so mad. They literally lost their shit on us, because how dare we? We're so toxic for the fan base. And I'm sitting here like, you guys are mad because we wanted to spread positivity and excitement for actual DC fans who are actually just excited for new stuff coming, and support James Gunn and be, you know, give him support before we see if it flops, you know.
Yeah.
They were
I kind of want to react to Skywalker right now because I guess he's live.
Do I have to give him a view though? Because I would show it, but my shit's so laggy. I need a new computer so bad. Let's see. He's live right now.
Yes. I'm just curious what they're talking about, because he's I guess he's arguing with this chat again.
45 people watching. This is what these people want. This is what these people want. Okay, hold on.
This conversation, yo, right? About this guy and how we were telling y'all, hey, it's crazy when y'all keep propping these people up, right? And letting them try to ingratiate themselves with the fan base and try to act as if, hey, man, I'm one of you guys. When time after time, again, they do the same thing. And they turn around and they say, oh, my God, see, now that I'm excited for the Superman movie, right? Like, oh man, you guys should, because look, I've been fair. I've been critical, right? And you know it's crazy that the people, that the people are hating on this movie. If I'm the one that's saying it, bro, get out of here, dog.
So wait, so people who were critical are calling out the people who are going over the top, and that means they're fake now?
Again, the gatekeeping. Superman influencers start blaming Zack Snyder and fan base for GA response. That's what his
So
singing.
is he upset that people are saying, "Hey guys, maybe we should go easy on this movie and stop being so negative"? Is that what he's complaining about?
I guess so. Man, there's so many people in this chat. Hold on, I'm gonna read the chat that he's got going on. There's so many new people. These fans are just getting literally like manipulated right now. This is getting very stressful and adds fuel to the fire. Blaming us when the film they advocated for years of failing off is frustrating. It's funny because again,
it hasn't even failed yet.
Right. I refuse to give the trailer views. I watch YouTube reactions instead. Not falling off.
You're still giving them views though.
Right. Oh, but the Batman vs Superman hate was not crazy. I mean, again, they're doing the same tactics that they were complaining that happened to the Zack Snyder fucking films, but that's hilarious.
Yeah, where like they hated talking down the entire time before it comes out. Yeah.
Right.
But no, it didn't just stop there. And it's funny because also something that is very, very interesting. It all typically happens on either on the same day or around the same time, right? Magically, all these people come out of nowhere and start posting on their platforms about how it's the Zack Snyder fans' fault that Superman, hey, it's them, right? They're just the ones hating on it, right? I mean, it's just
a lot of them are the only ones hating on it.
I mean, man, they're so toxic. Believe me. Just go see the movie, please.
He is not even a good entertainer or a talker. I'm sorry. He's so frustrating to listen to.
Just go see the movie, right? Don't let them, right? Bro, they trying to convince you that Henry Cavill is in this shit? Bro, nah. Bro, I didn't see people trying to act like Henry Cavill's in this movie now, dog. That's how bad they want the Zack Snyder fan. Bro, if they don't
literally nobody has said that Henry Cavill's in this movie, so I don't know what he's talking about. Nobody has said that he's in the movie.
He makes shit up. He makes shit up, man.
Attention and courting your dollars by trying to lie to you about fucking Henry Cavill being in this movie. You think he fucking cameo as Ultraman?
People are making memes about that, dude. It's not like a serious. Oh my god.
Yeah, he's dumb. Right. He always says that. Right.
Or he says that's crazy.
Right.
That's another catchphrase. It's crazy.
Why is that narrative out there? Why is that narrative being put out there?
Skywalker, why is a narrative why is it that when everybody else puts out a narrative, it's wrong, but when you guys put out false narratives, it's fucking factual? Like, this is why I can't stand these people. Whenever they do something, they're right. But if somebody does the same shit they do, they are in the wrong. You see how that works? The cult mentality, the bullshit they peddle all the time. Like, this man and I'll give it to him, right? He has manipulated 57 people into watching his shit right now. And they're all just signing up, co-signing all this shit. Like, oh yeah, you're right.
Well,
you're
basically, Saggy, what he did is that he just took all of Sil's audience. Sil's old audience moved over to him. That's all it is.
Yeah, because Sil needed, new clicks. He needed to be pro DC so that he can get scoops. Because he doesn't have Mikey Sutton no more.
Basically, yeah.
I want to see what's saying now. Like the thing is like nobody, like, they keep forgetting that general audience exists. Okay,
Yeah,
the
people
general
who
audience
don't care about this online fan war.
Right.
Yeah.
the general audience isn't looking at YouTube channels like Skywalker or mine or anyone else's. They're not looking at these YouTubers for their opinions on what's going to be good or not. They are literally like, I kid you not, I went to the Flash movie the day it released. I got in my car accident on the day the Flash movie came out, and I still went to the Flash movie and saw it. And I was weird about it. I asked people after the movie was done, I was like, hey, I'm a YouTuber and I cover like movie talk stuff. And I was just wondering like what your thoughts on was about all this controversy with Ezra Miller. Was it like, did you know about it? Is it something that, made you feel like you couldn't come see this movie? And they said, no, we heard about it, but like we don't care. We don't care about the actors really and all that controversy shit. Like it's fucked up, sure, but like we can separate the actors from the characters. I'm a big fan of Flash, so of course I was gonna go see it. So general audiences aren't even watching because they said, yeah, we heard about it, but like we still wanted to come see Flash because we're fans. I was like, that ain't good. You know what I'm saying? So it's like the general audience doesn't care. What Skywalker is trying to sell to these people who are literally just sitting there brainwashed into listening to his garbage is that, oh my God, this movie is going to completely fail because, the Snyder fans, they want the Snyder fans to go see it, support it.
Because the movie can only be successful if the Snyder fans show up, is what he's trying to allude to.
Which, again, I want to remind people, Rebel Moon didn't do as good as they keep saying it did. Well, it was #1 for a while. Like, you guys understand how the analytics of Netflix work? Like,
no.
A movie that just releases on the first day, right? When people watch it on the first day, and I'm sure all the Zack Snyder fans watched it, yeah, it was sitting at #1. But it didn't stay there. It didn't stay there. And also, don't forget, Rebel Moon had 2 parts. First part was not well received. The reviews for Rebel Moon were not that great.
Well, no, that's because the media is against Zack Snyder. Don't you know?
You know what's funny? Zack Snyder ain't addressing none of this. If Zack
Snyder, he's just living his best life, just chilling.
Right. If Zack Snyder actually believed that, he would have said something. You would think that Zack Snyder would come out, but you know what? Zack Snyder just wants to work. Zack Snyder just wants to work. And people think, well, Zack Snyder should I think Zack Snyder should address these people, the fans, and tell them to chill out? I do feel like at some point it needs to happen. Because, I after what happened with that YouTuber situation where somebody got killed over YouTube beef, it's only a matter of time before some crazy fucking person
does something crazy, yeah.
Right. It's only a matter of time before a Snyder fan like loses their shit and actually hurts somebody in the real world. And I'm not saying it's going to be Skywalker. I mean, well, I can't even say that because didn't Skywalker try to like bait people into getting into a fight with him in the bathroom?
Yeah, he did. Yeah, at one of the Zack Snyder events, he was trying to get Dave the Film Junkie to fight him.
Yep.
He literally said on the live stream that he was hoping that Dave would throw hands with them.
Yeah,
that's what he wanted.
He followed them into the bathroom, y'all.
He followed them into the bathroom. Yeah.
A Zack Snyder fan followed two
other
content
grown
creators
men into the bathroom.
Yep, in the bathroom. Yep, that's exactly what happened. And he bragged about it on a live stream.
Yeah, well, he bragged about saying, "Oh, they didn't want to say nothing. So they're a bunch of cowards. They didn't want to say nothing." They talked all that ish that was right in front of them, and they didn't want to do nothing.
Right. That's exactly what happened. He followed them. This is a story he told. Like, this is exactly the story he told. I'll tell you guys a story, right? So Skywalker's Jedi, who's streaming now, that fucking weirdo we were just listening to, right? He was like at one of Zack Snyder's events, right? He would go to the Zack Snyder's events. Another YouTuber, Dave the Film Junkie, and Stephen Colbert. What does Stephen Colbert write for again? He writes for what website?
I think Screen Rant. I think.
Okay. Is it Screen Rant?
It's either Screen Rant or /film, but I think it's Screen Rant.
I think it's Screen Rant. So Stephen Colbert writes for Screen Rant. Stephen is friends with Dave the Film Junkie. They've been on streams together. I've been on streams with Stephen. We absolutely adore Stephen. We absolutely adore Dave the Film Junkie. So Dave is friends with Zack Snyder, by the way, which they can't stand, right? They can't stand the fact that Dave the Film Junkie is cool with Zack Snyder and they're not. So during the event, Dave the Film Junkie was there, Stephen Colbert was there, and Skywalker was there. And Skywalker said he was sitting there and he saw Steven and Dave get up from their seats and walk out. And he sat there and he was like, oh, I wonder where they're going and what they're doing. So he got up to go follow them.
Yeah, walked around behind him the whole time.
Right, was walking around him, and then they go into the bathroom. He goes into the bathroom, and then Steven and Dave come into the bathroom first. And then, first of all, he criticized them for going on opposite sides where the urinals are. And I'm sitting there like,
for not going right next to each other or something.
right, like he gave them shit for that. And it's like, I'm not a guy, but even I know, like, when there's
There's
enough
extra space, give people some space.
yeah, you don't pee next to each other unless you have to, right? So that was funny. And then he sat there and said that he washed his hands so long waiting for them to say something. And then
he just sat there like washing his hands, just looking at him, waiting for them
right,
to say something.
He even said that he was washing his hands uncomfortably long because he was hoping that one of them would say something to him. And what were they going to say? They already knew that Skywalker was talking mad shit about them.
Yeah,
and they knew he was there.
Yeah.
And they weren't going to say nothing because, like, first of all, why ruin their time to get into a fucking fight in the bathroom with the fucking guy who is baiting them into doing so? He wanted them to say something so he can get into an altercation. So he had a story to tell when he came home. That's what he wanted.
That's all.
He wanted them to, right. That's all it was for. That's why he's baiting them. And he says this. And it's like, this is not a sane person. These people don't understand. They've been attacking Zack Snyder's friends. Zack Snyder's friends. Okay, Zack Snyder's not going on YouTube channels. He only really goes on Dave the Film Junkie's channel,
or the
Nerd Queens. Like, he goes on YouTube channels with people he trusts. For Christ's sakes, Dave the Film Junkie was sitting behind at the Full Circle event. They did a Full Circle event. It was for charity, where Zack was showing all the movies he made in DC for fans. So fans would come up, they'd buy tickets, which would all the proceeds go to charity. And who is sitting there behind the curtain with Zack Snyder reacting to Zack Snyder's films, but Dave the Film Junkie and Stephen Colbert, right? Skywalker wasn't sitting there with Zack Snyder behind there.
No, he had to buy a ticket and sit in the audience with the other fans.
Exactly. Yeah, he was part of the audience.
He wants to be part of that. He wants to be in the inner circle. That's what it is.
Yeah, he's always going to be a bridesmaid, never the bride. Like, that's literally all Skywalker is. He wants to be the bridesmaid. I'm sorry, he wants to be the bride. You're not going to be the bride, bro. And then he'll sit there and talk so much shit about these people who, again, are friends with Zack Snyder and expect Zack Snyder to ever want to associate with him. The only thing that Zack Snyder knows about Skywalker is that he's fucking crazy. I'm telling you right now. Does Zack Snyder know who Skywalker the Jedi is? Yes, he does.
Well, yeah, because he keeps going to all those events to go talk to Zack and ask him the same 5 questions about Netflix.
Right. And Zack Snyder, I'm telling you, Zack Snyder's probably looking at y'all like you're a bunch of weirdos. Thank you, Bobo, for the 99 super sticker. Appreciate you. I don't even want to listen to this stuff because, like, it's all just bullshit. I feel bad for even wanting to laugh at these people. 60 people watching them. That's crazy.
Man, I have a question for the better half who was just in here. Why is that the case? How is it that when James Gunn could first make those statements and say that he did not care and he knew what he was getting into and he wasn't going to make everybody happy, they've been, right? They've been trying to warn everybody involved, right? They've been like, hey, right? They told the girl who is playing Supergirl, yeah, you're going to get hate. It's going to be this thing, right? But now...
Because that's the world we live in, and you need to prepare your actors for the fact that you're probably going to deal with a lot of internet weirdos like you. I mean, that's
right.
Look at all these TV shows. Look at like Last of Us, for example, or like any of these other TV shows with like the social media hate, or look at like the new How to Train. Like, they have to prepare these actors for the reality that they're going to get. Like, there's all this social media stuff because that's the world we live in. Sadly, I mean that's how it is.
Because the fans are nuts. The fans are nuts.
So, like, why is it a bad thing to tell your actors, hey? When you join this franchise, there's a lot, like, it's a lot of fun, but also, you never know what you're going to deal with. Are you prepared? Are you going to be ready for potential hate from people? I mean, that's part of, like, why they do social media training for these actors. So that way they're prepared to, like, navigate that stuff. I'm not saying that that's right, but that's the reality.
It's a sad reality. These actors have to literally mentally prepare themselves for backlash because the fans just want to shit on these people for being hired to do a job. The Zack Snyder fans even went after actors who had nothing to do with DC. They went after Chris Evans. A lot of Zack Snyder fans went after Chris Evans. Why is Chris Evans getting hate from Zack Snyder fans? Like literally using the hashtags and comments to Chris Evans' Twitter posts, guys. These people are not fucking well. Anything they post on Twitter, it always has to have Zack's name attached to it. Like they're trying to like what is the purpose of going after people who don't even have anything to do with DC? Chris Evans hasn't done anything DC. Has Chris Evans done? No, Chris Evans has never done nothing DC. He's always been Marvel. He did the Human Torch, and then he did play Captain America.
Yeah, like I said, these people are just insane.
It's literally insane.
But I'm curious to see where he's going with this, what he's trying to say.
Oh, I know. We're gonna hear it.
Said, I think Gunn has moved on from trying to attract the DCEU fans. How is that the case?
Because
how is that the case when you have influencers and they don't move unless they're told to move like that?
Here we go again with the conspiracy that they're being told to do all this.
Right? They don't all start moving like that.
What influencers is he talking about, by the way? Like, he's not even saying, like, who's saying what.
He doesn't say names because he has nothing. The thing is, it's funny, right? Like, I'm not, I don't do movie talk. Y'all know this. I don't really do movie talk. I used to do movie talk with RJ and people back in the day. I don't do movie talk. But even when I did do movie talk, bro, I got told the DC slate before everyone else did. And I never talked about it. I never talked about it until it was released. I could have been a scooper. I had scoops. RJ got scoops. We both got scoops back in the day. And we never used that for clicks and engagement. And we could have been scoopers because but that's probably why people talk to us, because they knew we weren't going to share that information. And we knew that we weren't being used to do that. You know, we were just being shown it because it was more of an appreciation. Thank you for standing up to these people. Thank you for pushing back against these people, because this is what's really going on behind the scenes. Me and RJ got those scoops back in the day. We knew what was going on behind the closed doors of DC. Why do you think I was talking about the Ezra Miller stuff? Because I was being told stuff behind the scenes that was going on with the Ezra Miller stuff. Why? Because I wasn't using it to get myself up there. I wasn't using it to get James Gunn's attention or Zack Snyder Daddy's attention. It was because we were speaking facts without even knowing the facts.
But the point,
right.
The point though is just like, he said these influencers, like, they're being told to say this. Who? Like, he keeps it so vague to the point where it's just like, who's he talking about? Like, what does he define as an influencer? Is anybody who talks about this stuff an influencer? Like,
I'm telling you right now.
He keeps it vague just because it's easier to keep it vague to, like...
Here, somebody go back to Skywalker and tell him, RJ is not the one who speaks to James Gunn. I am.
Nah, I hope somebody puts in his chat that I talked to James Gunn. I would love that, because it makes me laugh when they talk about it.
Well, no, me and you both. It was funny because me and you both were put in that same category. We both were being paid by James Gunn until I stopped talking about them for a while, and you kept going on Twitter. But you know, people would see that James Gunn respond to you, and I used to say, "How am I working for James Gunn? He doesn't even respond to anything I post." Chris Evans was in the Losers DC movie. Oh, well, thank you, Moon.
But still, I mean,
good night, geeks. Yeah. Scoops of ice cream, indeed. I mean, I could, if I really wanted to, I could go get scoops right now, but I don't want to because I really don't care. I want to just be surprised with everybody else. Like, I'm not gonna lie, I didn't want to know the DC slate. I wanted to be surprised. And then somebody hit me up, was like, "You want to see the DC slate?" I was like, "Yeah, I kind of do. I kind of want that bragging rights to see the DC slate." before everybody else does, because I'm like, yeah, these guys don't know what they're talking about. Look at me, not a scooper, not a big influencer on this platform. People are talking to me, so it's almost like I'm an honest person and people trust me over these clowns, but yet people always will pay for fake news over real shit, and that's what's happening right now. Because like I said, I only got a few people watching the stream. Skywalker got a bunch of 60 people wanting to be fucking glazed in the chat, basically, because oh my god, he's saying all the things we're thinking, and we must be right because this YouTuber is getting big off this. No, he's just manipulating every single fan over there. He's manipulating the fans. He's rallying the mob. And I'm telling you right now, he's gonna have his day where the fucking bullshit's gonna literally come out. The mask is gonna slip, and everyone's gonna see him for who he is. And when it happens, me and RJ are gonna be sitting there with a bottle of champagne, sitting outside, watching it blow up in his fucking face.
Oh yeah, it's coming. Like I said, he's not going to be able to handle when this movie comes out. He's just not, like, it's going to break his brain. He's not going to be able to handle it.
I wasn't going to see the Superman movie because I love Superman's character, but I'm like not a huge fan of the movies like used to be. Let's be a huge fan of Superman, but like I don't know. But I'm going to see the movie just to spite them. I want to contribute to them succeeding. I want James Gunn to succeed mainly because these guys are clowns, and I want to see them cry about James Gunn.
Yeah, because like honestly, I hate being like that, but yeah, I'm like, yeah, I hope it succeeds just to spite them because they deserve to cry.
100%. The shit they have said about James Gunn, and James Gunn has been really good. I know they keep bringing up the shit that James Gunn did in the past, but it's like, dude, he really he's younger and dumber, and he's smart. He hasn't done shit since then. He has been pretty good. No controversies for James Gunn the last since that incident happened, like early 2000s.
Yeah.
So why are they really mad at James Gunn? I think James Gunn does make it. I'm excited for Peacemaker too. I loved Peacemaker. I think that was one of his best works since Guardians of the Galaxy. I think Peacemaker was great. Suicide Squad wasn't really the best for me. It was alright, but Peacemaker is definitely a favorite. I would say if I'm a fan of James Gunn and I'm a fan of Zack Snyder. I think both directors, respectfully, are good. They have good movies, they have bad movies, and it's completely fine. Like, you think James Gunn and Zack Snyder really care that much that people don't like his stuff? You think Zack Snyder was sitting there crying when the people were saying that just Man of Steel was shit? You think he was crying about it? No. Zack Snyder doesn't really care about this stuff. You know how I know? Because his actions. Zack Snyder's not the type of fucking person who if he had something he wanted to say, he ain't gonna say it. And I do want to keep reminding people, this man straight up said that he was cool with James Gunn. James Gunn is saying I talked to him. James Gunn posted a picture of him and Zack Snyder on his Instagram page. I want to see, does Zack Snyder have an Instagram? Because I'm curious if he liked the picture.
That's a good question.
Hold on. Let me see. Let's see. James Gunn. Okay, there's James Gunn. I'm following James Gunn. Where's that picture? So he posted a picture with him and Zack Snyder. Where was it? I think this is like last month, maybe? Damn, where is it? I'm sitting there like, where is that picture of him and Zack Snyder? I had it saved. I showed it when I was talking about it last time. Because I was talking about the Superman legacy drama. Oh, so I hope Axel is like seething that I used his picture.
You use his picture? Oh, I didn't notice the thumbnail.
Yeah, I used his picture. I blurred his face though. I blurred his face. So this was posted on February 20th. The caption here says, always a pleasure catching up with my friend Zack Snyder, consummate filmmaker and a doubly consummated storyteller. And I don't know if Zack Snyder actually
I don't think he ever acknowledged, I don't think he ever reposted it or talked about it, but I mean, well, oh my god, he didn't talk about it. That means he didn't actually like it.
Well, does Zack Snyder have Instagram? No, because
it was on Twitter. It was on Twitter too.
Yeah, but Zack is not even active on Twitter. Oh, sorry, I don't know why that played. A video just started playing. Let me see. I don't think Zack Snyder has a. Oh wait, no. No, he doesn't have. There's a lot of Zack Snyder fan accounts. But yeah, I don't think Zack even has Instagram. I think he only has Twitter for promotion purposes, but I don't think he's really active on Twitter like that.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, I don't even see posts with a lot of posts with Zack Snyder. Zack Snyder on James Gunn's Superman suit. I'm gonna say that. Let's see it in the movie. I'm interested to see how it works, as a piece of storytelling. Yeah, but I'm excited. I'm excited to see it.
Well, there you go.
That's let's DC talk. Hold on, the comment section. Zack is way better than that. Zack's more open-minded than his fans. I thought he was gonna say the new suit is not depressing enough. Henry Cavill is the best Superman of our times. These are fans posting to Zack Snyder's own words. This is what they do. Zack Snyder's words always get misconstrued. How is it he can be so respectful and open towards this movie, but his cult of psycho basement dwellers behave the complete opposite? I'm liking that comment. The suit as a piece of storytelling. Dude, it's a suit. It's not that deep. From the man who gave us Rebel Moon. Because cue his edgelord fans. Pointless post. I may not have liked his take on the DC characters, but he's more civil about the new movie's direction than his fans are. Like, these are people who are literally watching this whole drama shit with the fans. Like, these are people sitting here saying, like, yes, the Zack Snyder fans are fucking crazy. Now, here's one in Spanish. The more they humiliate Zack, and at least he was more original with his costume being a prelude to the time. The costume of the new Gunn franchise, it seems that before Disney fired him, now Disney fired Gunn. That's crazy. Disney didn't fire Gunn. Disney did not fire Gunn. Like, that's crazy. Why does anyone ask him anything? He doesn't know anything about DC other than the stuff his writing team told him. He didn't know Batman had a no killing rule. That's people just hating on Zack. His tone would have fit in the Injustice with Cavill. Did most of his fans turn out to be bots? Oh my god. Polite way to say it's disgusting, but I'm giving the benefit of the doubt. That's crazy. Zack is a class act. Looks like CW beef jerky, faux leather pieces of cosplay. Like, yo, these people are that pressed about this. This is insane. This is insane. Dude is mature than most of his movies. Jesus Christ. Translation, it looks like shit. Even he knows how bad it looks. He didn't say any of that, though. Gunverse will just be as bad as Snyderverse. Hey, at least we have a person who's being neutral about it. This suit's nothing wrong. There's nothing wrong creating a comic accurate suit. Make it look cool is how you do it. Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man is a prime example. This looks like the suit I saw in the kids' store I wanted. He's lying. Zack is lying. Someone's butt hurt. Like, these comments are wild. People are so, like, this is what I'm saying. Anything Zack says, the fans will twist. But they're fans of Zack, but they don't even listen to his words that he actually says. Why, when you type in Zack Snyder, there's a picture of a chick dressed up as Silk Spectre from The Watchmen showing her dirty ass foot in the fucking frame? Like, what does that have to do with Zack Snyder? Oh, I'm sorry. I'm stupid. It's because Watchmen was his movie. But the fact that she tags Zack Snyder and that pops up is crazy. Sorry, that threw me all off because I just saw the foot and I'm like, what does that have to do with fucking Zack Snyder? I was like, oh, Silk Spectre. That was from Watchmen. Zack made The Watchmen. You know what Zack didn't do, though? The Watchmen TV show. RJ, you live? RJ died, y'all.
Oh, sorry. I cut out for a second.
Oh, let's talk about the foot.
Is my audio working? Is my audio working?
Yeah, it's fine now.
Oh, okay. Were you asking me something?
I was talking about how when you look up Zack Snyder on Instagram, there's a picture of some chick dressed up as Silk Spectre with her foot in the frame, like one of those foot fetishes type thing. Jesus. And I was just like, why is Zack Snyder tagged in this? It took me a second to fucking remember that it's Watchmen.
Oh, yeah.
I didn't say he created it. I said he made the movie. Hey, RJ, did you get enough money for popcorn? Yeah, he's getting paid by James Gunn.
Yeah, I've already got multiple tickets. Buying all the
I
popcorn
forgot
tickets.
Skywalker.
Oh, what's he saying now?
Hold on, let's get back to it. Oh, he's reacting to Seth Rogen, or Joe Rogan, sorry.
Wait a minute, is that a fucking super dog? Super dog. It's got super dogs dragging the safety. It's over. Listen to me. The dog. It's with the sound. Why is the dog able to drag him? He's taking that girl up in the sky. That looks terrible. The dog's a bad choice, huh? Yeah. But he's from another planet. What happened to the original Superman? Hold on. No, not Christopher Reeves. He's got paralyzed. I'm talking about the last guy.
First of all, when he said, "Have you seen the new Superman trailer?" He said, "Oh, Henry Cavill." Yeah. That's general audience right there, yo.
That's not general audience, though. That's not general audience. These guys are fucking fans. Hold on, Joe Rogan. Okay, Joe Rogan, here's the thing. Here we go, right? Joe Rogan, this is the argument he made, guys. Joe Rogan is general audience. Joe Rogan is generally known to be a fan of Marvel over DC Comics. He has expressed his preferences for Marvel, citing Superman as a stupid character and pointing out the logical inconsistencies in DC superhero lore. While he has no animosity towards DC, his preference for Marvel is well documented. Yeah, he's the general audience, guys. He's a fucking comic book fan, you fucking morons. You brain dead fucks. Joe Rogan is a comic book fan. Let me repeat that for you weirdos in the back. He prefers Marvel over Superman because he thinks Superman's a stupid character. But no, use Joe Rogan as the example of why this movie's gonna suck when Joe Rogan is a Marvel fan over DC anyways. Joe Rogan's probably not gonna ever like anything with Superman because it's documented. He is a Marvel over DC fan. Oh my god, facts over feelings, guys. Did you know that, RJ? Did you know that until I just read that? Did you know that Joe Rogan is a Marvel fan?
No, I did not know that.
Yeah. Well documented that he is a Marvel over DC fan.
That explains a lot.
Okay, let's look at Joe Rogan's thoughts on Superman Legacy. Oh no, we'll just do Superman. Joe Rogan has consistently expressed negative opinions about Superman and superhero movies in general, viewing them as repetitive and overdone. He specifically dislikes the upcoming reboot starring David Cornsweet, suggesting it's unnecessary and stupid. He also questions the need for continuous reboots and the prevalence of superhero stories in Hollywood. Rogan's criticism extend beyond this particular reboot. He often argues that superhero movies don't offer enough new or original storytelling, and that Hollywood keeps revisiting the same tropes. He's also expressed a preference for more grounded and character-driven narratives, contrasting these with what he sees as the predictable nature of superhero films. So again, Joe Rogan is being used by Skywalker the Jedi as of a few moments ago as being considered the general audience, when Joe Rogan has always been critical of Superman and superhero movies in general, and y'all using him to again manipulate the fucking fans' perspective on the success or fucking lack thereof of James Gunn's DC universe. Facts over fucking feelings, guys. You fans are absolutely trash with fact-checking any of the bullshit that these fucking YouTubers are saying to you. Using Joe Rogan as an example of what a general audience is, it's so easy. You could just look it up. Joe Rogan has documented this, his thoughts on superhero films. He is not the general audience. He is a comic book reader, a comic book fan who says that these movies in Hollywood are all bullshit. He doesn't like any of these superhero movies, but he's gone on record saying if he had a choice, he likes Marvel over DC. But let's use Joe Rogan to push that narrative to all of these people watching Skywalker the Jedi right now, so you guys can just glaze each other like a bunch of fucking weirdos in a basement having fucking cult parties and drinking the fucking Kool-Aid.
They're having parties. They accuse James Gunn of going to parties. So
right.
They're the ones having the party.
There's Matt Jarbo. Hey, Matt, did you know that Joe Rogan doesn't even like Superman? Did you know that? You know, they're using Joe Rogan's opinion on the Superman legacy as the whole point of why this movie sucks.
Yeah, Ben Shapiro's.
All right, let's look at Ben Shapiro. Look at how easy it is to do research. Ben Shapiro's thoughts on Superman. Let's see. Is Ben Shapiro actually married? That's the one thing that popped up. I spelled his name wrong. That's why. Let's see. I want to see his thoughts on Superman in general. Actually, there's really nothing about his takes on Superman as dated. Ben Shapiro hating on Superman, a movie about hope more likely than you think. Shapiro reacts to Superman going woke. This was 4 years ago.
Superman goes woke. Oh my god.
2 months ago. I want to see old stuff. There's nothing old, so there's not really a Ben Shapiro's thoughts about that. But using Ben Shapiro's at either, like, again, hold on. Ben Shapiro thoughts on DC. All right, here we go. Give it a second. It's loading. Nah, nothing. He doesn't even talk about DC like that. 4 years ago, Ben Shapiro's brain melts.
He did a review of the Batman. I remember he hated the Batman.
I don't think Ben Shapiro likes DC either.
What does Ben Shapiro like?
You know? True. That's true. He's doing the woke stuff, so I don't think he has anything positive to say about DC.
That's what I'm saying. Like,
but it's funny how they're using Ben Shapiro and Joe Rogan, both people who clearly hate DC, as a means of saying, hey guys, look, Ben Shapiro and Joe Rogan hate this movie too. But he doesn't tell his audience that Ben Shapiro hates everything that's coming out in the fucking entertainment sphere. But like, let's just manipulate the audience and make them think that that's a win. Look, even Joe Rogan agrees with us. Joe Rogan hates Superman, you stupid fucks. Skywalker, Joe Rogan doesn't even like DC. He doesn't even like superhero movies. Stuff. Right. So he was gonna hate Superman.
He probably likes Marvel movies because they're like the most mainstream thing.
Yeah, he like, I don't understand why they keep saying stupid shit. Like, there's legitimate facts that exist, and none of these fans, for people who claim that they know everything, they don't even fact check stuff. Rogan doesn't like reading in general, says Mo Moon. Both people clearly hate reading. I mean, again, this is what I'm saying. This is what these people are doing. These fans. These friggin' brain dead fans who can't be helped to like go on Google and say, hey, what does Joe Rogan actually think about DC? What is his actual thoughts on friggin' Superman? And boom, there you have it, an entire list of every time Joe Rogan has shit on every Superman and shit on DC entirely. Good job using a Marvel fan to use in your argument to support that James Gunn's Superman's gonna suck. Bravo. Let's give him a round of applause, everybody. Let's give them a round of applause for their big-brained energy over there. Big brains over there on Skywalker the channel. All these people watching this shit.
Very, very smart people over there.
Very smart people. Let's see what he's talking about now.
It's the Snyder fans' fault.
How many times are you gonna say that?
Did you jump around, or is it still picking up?
Yeah, I'm jumping around. I'm jumping around.
Oh my god, bro. This is wild, bro. No. Right?
Right? Crazy.
Oh, he's looking at his phone. That's why he's quiet. He's looking at his phone. I think somebody sent him a message. Somebody's lurking. Somebody's lurking. Somebody's lurking.
Hey, man. They sending me more ammunition in real time, bro.
Oh!
I told you.
No, bro. Oh, yeah. Thank you, Mama Bear. Right?
Did you used to be friends with her?
He said, maybe Angry Joe changed his mind after seeing footage. Oh, word. Oh, word. Yeah. Oh, wait a minute.
Oh yeah, they're not Angry Joe. He's excited for the movie. I forgot.
Y'all want to know what's so funny? Right? When we talk about how not only when these studios and stuff be giving people access, right? How it colors their vision, right? We've not only covered that multiple times, right?
I'm waiting for it.
But also, what was the one thing that I always brought up that was very, very telling about the timing in which everybody started criticizing BVS, Batman v Superman, right?
That's the point.
He said he changed his mind when he got that check. Right? Yeah.
That Angry Joe is paid off.
But look, I kind of talked about this ad nauseum, right? But there was a time, believe it or not, guys, when the hype level for Batman versus Superman was out of the fucking roof, right? It was out the roof, right?
What does this have to do with anything?
Fucking hype.
I have no idea. I'm waiting for the point.
A little moment came along known as the Captain America Civil War set visit.
Oh my God.
I don't care about this. We got to pause this till he gets to it. I don't know where the point is. But that's funny how he was looking at his phone and then he's just like, oh, I'm getting more stuff.
I know where he's going. I know where he's going with this. Let him cook a little longer because he's about to say something really stupid.
Okay.
Change everybody's mind. Right?
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 Why would visiting the set of Captain America Civil War why would that change your mind about what Batman versus Superman is going to do? Before
it really didn't, though. People were still excited for both.
Right.
He's trying to say that Marvel convinced these critics to hate on the movies. What he's trying to say.
Of course. He's looking at his phone again.
I need a good reason as to why visiting the set for Captain America Civil War,
Right. I want to know who's dry snitching on us.
Visiting that set change your mind about Batman versus Superman? Visiting the set of Civil War change their minds? Absolutely. No, bro. I see. Y'all got the right one. I watched this shit play out in real time. So tell me,
y'all got the right one.
Why is it that visiting the set of Captain America Civil War would make you change your opinion on whether or not you're hyped for Batman versus Superman?
Maybe because that movie looked better to you?
Yeah.
Now more hyped for Civil War, because that would be one thing, right? Okay, cool, I'm more hyped for it now. But no, to change your mind on what DC is doing?
It's almost like people could change their minds. It's almost like people could change their minds.
I'm waiting on the answer. He said the answer is always access, red carpet, money, favors, etc. Thank you, bro.
Exactly what Skywalker wants. That's exactly what Skywalker wants.
Yeah.
He's going to a barber.
Yeah, a barber. Right, yeah.
Grace Randolph has proven that she flip-flops countless times, but she's pissed off a Gunn because Gunn's been messing with her company, which is owned by WBD, which is
what?
Even more so strange.
No.
Wait. What did that comment say?
Hold on. It said, Grace Randolph has proven that she flip-flops countless times, but she's pissed off with Gunn because Gunn has been messing with her company, which is owned by WB.
No, it's... Oh, my God. The reason Grace has issues with James Gunn is because Gunn always would go on social media and debunk stuff that she would put out there. She
Yeah.
felt like she's being personally targeted. That's why they got beef.
Yeah.
Not because she. Oh my god. And
Yeah.
notice how like you just believe, like you could type in anything in the chat and he'd believe it. I feel like.
I should make an alt account, go in there and be like, James Gunn said that he drinks the blood of baby goats to maintain his youth, and that's the downside is it turned his hair white. He's a demon.
Or just put in the chat that YouTubers have been bragging that James Gunn Venmoed them money.
Yeah.
By WBD, which is even more so strange that somebody would say Grace specifically and her changing with, you know, but hey, I digress. Mama Bear, I'm having a little bit of trouble kind of getting this on here. Might not be able to, but yeah. So he said, I think everyone knows that Marvel played 30. Oh, right.
What? Marvel plays dirty? How?
But at the same time, the guy that they brought over to head up DC Studios was Kevin Feige, second in command.
So?
Bringing over hella actors from the movie. I mean, from all the movies.
Who they bringing over?
All of them are openly talking about, oh yeah, I'll go be in the DCU. Some Marvel actors getting cast all over the place.
Like who?
Like who? Who from Marvel is being casted in DC right now?
I can't think of anybody right now.
Nobody from Marvel is being casted in DC.
I'm telling you.
I'm telling you bullshit. Listen to my bullshit, guys.
All right. You know? Yeah, no. They just sent me Mama Bear sent me this video of Angry Joe going on a 10-minute rant about Ben Affleck being Batman before the movie came out, right?
Yeah, and he changed his mind and said, "Oh, Ben Affleck looks good as Batman" when he saw the trailer. What's the point? It's almost like people can have thoughts, but their thoughts can evolve when they see more. A lot of people hated the Ben Affleck casting at first, but then they saw the trailer, like, "Oh wow, he looks like he's a good Batman."
I hated the Batman casting too because I didn't like his performance as Daredevil. I didn't think Ben Affleck could play a superhero.
Exactly, but then people watch the trailer like, "Wow, he looks good."
Right, and
like,
then I changed my mind.
Evolve. They act like people can't change their minds about stuff.
Well, you know that one actor that was in that one movie? Yeah, that one. That's the guy. I mean, if we're the other way around, Henry Cavill was in DC but went to Marvel. Henry Cavill did a cameo for Ryan. Yeah, for the Deadpool movie, Todd. He did a cameo and they made the joke about what happened to DC. And Henry is a fan of a lot of these things. Like, Henry Cavill's a nerd. You guys know this. Henry Cavill played the Witcher games. That's why he was excited to play Geralt in The Witcher, right? But like, yeah, he did a cameo and it was not a big deal. It was funny. We all loved it. But these fucking guys over here, they take everything as if it's like a personal attack on the industry. And also, to answer your question, I did see this earlier. Is anyone really excited for Superman? The suit just looks, I don't know, bad. Yes, there are people excited for Superman because it's fucking Superman and they don't care. They don't care. They just want to see Superman because they're comic book fans. So, like, yes, there are people who are going to be excited for a fucking comic book character because they're not sitting here terminally online looking at every YouTuber who is not excited for this and letting YouTube influencers who really don't have much influence, let's be honest, but literally letting people on the internet tell them what they should and shouldn't like. Like, I don't care if you don't like Superman or Superman's suit. That is your right to hate it. Todd, if you are not excited for Superman and you think that suit looks bad, power to you. Power to you. I'm not going to disagree with you because that's your personal opinion. Why do I have to argue with you, Todd, and say you're wrong, Todd? This movie looks great. The suit is fantastic. What's wrong with you? You must not be a real fan, Todd, if you don't like the fact that he is bringing back the fucking the spandex fucking trunks, dude. I should just shit on you completely, Todd, for having an opinion that differs from mine. I think the suit looks fine. I'm excited to see it now, mostly because I want to contribute to making this movie successful, right? But overall, I'm not going to sit here and tell you you're not a true fan, Todd, if you don't like James Gunn's Superman. That's what these guys are doing, though. They're going to tell you, Todd, that if you don't like what they like, that you are the one that's wrong. You have bad taste. But since you have the same opinion as them, you can go over there and be like, yeah, I don't like it either. And he'll just feed you bullshit to get you mad at James Gunn and get you to not want to support this movie. Todd, no offense to you, but like James Gunn's not going to be sad that you don't like his movie. James Gunn's not going to be sad that he didn't get your money. Because you know what? You might not like it, but a couple of people might like it. Some of your friends might like it, Todd, and want to go see it. Maybe they're going to call you up. Hey, Todd, you want to go see Superman Legacy? Nah, dude, it doesn't look good to me. Well, I'm going to go see it. We're going to get a group of people together. You're welcome to come if you want to come. You know, because a lot of the general audience are like that. They remember the days when going to the movies with friends was just going to the movies. And if the movie sucked, you guys would spend the ride home talking about how bad that movie was, and then you move on to the next one. That's how actual moviegoers used to be like back in the day. They weren't sitting here arguing with each other over the things they like and dislike. That's why I get mad.
Or trying to come up with conspiracies as to why movies are coming out that they don't want to see.
Right, and it's funny because these people are listening to Skywalker right now.
Just say that you don't want to see the movie. You don't got to come up with all this conspiracy about why people shouldn't go see a movie. Just be like, oh, I'm not
because
interested.
He's making money off it. He's doing the exact same thing that he criticizes other content creators for doing. He's doing the exact same thing and crying fucking foul. Oh, the Zack Snyder fans we're toxic. Yes, the fuck you are. You know what's toxic about you guys? It's because when I first met Skywalker, true story, RJ was there on that panel. We were on a panel on Mad Max's channel, Movie Madness and Entertainment, right? We were on his channel. And Skywalker was on there. We were talking about the Zack Snyder and Snyderverse stuff. This is when it was just fresh, right? Everyone was still wanting, fresh off the hype of watching Zack Snyder's Justice League, right? So we're on that. Now he got me saying, right, fucking goddamn it. So we're on the panel. And I said, I don't think it's going to happen. DC really doesn't want to go that direction. They're moving in a different direction. And unfortunately, Zack doesn't fit the bill right now. And I would love for Zack to come back and do it because I liked his film. But it's just not financially going to happen because they don't want to pay Zack to make these movies. And you can see Skywalker on cam visibly getting angry at the things I said. Visibly getting angry at anyone on that panel who was telling him, no, it's not going to happen. Like a little fucking child who was denied cookies for the night. Can I have cookies before bed? No. He had a fucking childlike tantrum on Max the Mandalorian's channel.
Because people didn't agree with him.
Right?
Yeah.
Right?
People didn't agree with him.
Yeah. He had a fucking hissy fit. And then he started kind of going at us and talking about like we don't know what we're talking about. We're fucking toxic. We just want fucking Zack Snyder to fail. We're not real Zack Snyder fans because how dare we not want Zack to come back and all this other shit. Number one, no one said that they didn't want Zack Snyder to come back. We all said that we would love for Zack Snyder to come back, but it doesn't look like that's going to happen. Right? We were being realistic in the real world, looking at the statistics, looking at the numbers, looking at the facts that was going on with DC. And how dare we talk about the facts because they'd rather sit there and spread fucking bullshit and lies and conspiracy theories. And they will continue to do that because they're manipulating these fucking fans. And these fans are really at this point too stupid or they just don't give a fuck that they're being manipulated. Either way, I'm going to keep talking about these motherfuckers. You know why? Because somebody has to push back against these fucking grifters. And I love pushing back against grifters. And that's all me and RJ, Matt Jarbo, and all these people that they talk shit about for the past few years. That is all we ever did was push back against false narratives and bring facts to the table. And we didn't have to know James Gunn or talk to James Gunn. It's called common fucking sense, something that all these people are lacking right now as we speak. As we speak. And I get called a bully. I'll be that. I'll be that bully. Don't listen to her. She's toxic. Well, I'm not. You can call me toxic. Doesn't mean I'm wrong.
Yeah. It's just crazy. I mean, again, it's just crazy how we got here. And again, I keep wondering, how are they going to react if this movie does well? Because I genuinely don't think they're going to be able to handle it.
No, they won't.
I mean, I don't know. Is he saying anything else after this? I'm just curious, like, because like we see what he's talking about now. It's just like he's trying to come up with excuses as to why people feel the way that they feel.
Yeah. I mean, he's not saying anything new. He's for the most part, he's kind of just repeating the same talking points he started the stream off with. He really has nothing. And again, he's only having 70 people watching him live, and he's only growing on YouTube because he's just saying shit that the fans want to hear instead of just being honest with them and at least trying to say, listen, I know it sucks. We want Zack to come back, but unfortunately, it's not going to happen. So either we stop giving DC our money and hope that they listen, or we could just keep pushing fucking bullshit friggin' hashtag campaigns on Twitter and hope that the entire fandom comes together. You know, we need to be united. Why is everyone like, it's crazy. He's saying what fans want to hear, like RJ on Twitter. Yeah, okay, Matt. Matt, you want to come on?
Okay, Matt. Okay.
You want to come on and say something, Matt Jarbo? Or are you busy?
Yeah, say it to my face. Oh,
he's just
mad for that. Everybody.
He's just mad because you spanked him last night. He was a little hurt. RJ is not in a tunnel.
My audio can sometimes be a little crappy.
Yeah. I mean, I'm still gonna be Henry Cavill Superman lover, but I'm still gonna give this movie a chance. And Crypto is new, not gonna lie. Plus, I like who they got for Lex Luthor. I mean, no, I liked Henry Cavill as Superman too, but he was eventually gonna get recasted anyways. You know, Henry Cavill has been in a lot of things since he was in, you know, when he was Superman. You know, he's doing the Enola Holmes franchise right now. There's a new Enola Holmes movie coming out, and obviously Henry Cavill's going to be in it. And Henry Cavill's a great actor. I really wish he didn't leave The Witcher, but you know, it is what it is. But Henry Cavill is going on to do a lot of different things, and I'm so happy for him that he's not letting this Superman stuff get him down. He's still working. He's still making money. He's still doing projects, and he's still a fan. At the end of the day, guys, y'all have to remember that Henry Cavill is still going to be a fan of Superman. He felt honored to play the role. And yes, would he want to come back and do another movie? Of course he would. He had a great time doing that role. And he loved Superman. And he loved Zack's version of Superman. But that doesn't mean that he has to hate everything that comes after. Henry Cavill is not a selfish person. And he's an artist. He's an actor, guys. He's not going to be a friggin' piece of shit and shit on people. He doesn't have an ego like that. Henry Cavill is definitely a good dude, and I want people who support Henry Cavill to just support Henry Cavill. If you love Henry Cavill, then love Henry Cavill, but love everything that Henry Cavill does. Don't let it stop you at DC. Just like I see Zack Snyder fans. Don't let DC stop you from supporting Zack Snyder. Because y'all out here talking like you support Zack, but Rebel Moon would have been so much better well received by the fans if y'all actually turned up, because y'all really didn't turn up. It was #1 on Netflix for a couple days. Oh no, y'all don't understand Netflix algorithm. That's your fault. You know? He said to your face last night, RJ, nah. You know what? Matt's just jealous because the fans can't stand him and they can't stand RJ, but they tolerate RJ more than Matt. But Matt goes hard on them. RJ softballs them. RJ throws softballs at him. Matt uses that like machine that like flings balls in their faces. They get so bad about it.
Yeah, it's funny.
They try to cancel you too over something Matt said. That was funny. They try to cancel you because of something Matt said on stream. That was wild.
Oh yeah, I do remember that. That was funny.
Yeah, that was funny. They're like, RJ was on the panel. Yeah, and I said that it wasn't a funny joke. Like me and you were like, Matt, come on, it's not funny. No, you guys were laughing. Show us where we were laughing. And then they never produced the clip. They stopped it right after Matt made his comment. And then they didn't say shit. I was like, bro. You see how they try to twist the narrative? We didn't even laugh at his comment. We're like, Matt, come on, dude. Like, what are you saying? Don't say it like that. And Matt was like, what? But they don't show you guys that clip. They want you guys to think we're out here just trying to shit on them for no reason. Nah, I shit on y'all because y'all earned that. Because y'all just say stupid shit, and then when we got to call you out, you just get mad, and then you try to insult us and try to get your fucking entire little fucking community over there to cancel us on the internet. Yeah, that's not toxic at all. That's not toxic behavior. Y'all literally doxed RJ, but that's not toxic behavior.
Yeah, these people are just insane.
They are insane. You want to listen to more?
I guess. Yeah, sure. I don't know what else is going on, but I suppose so.
I just want to hear him say something that's actually like.
ZSSM.
Wait, I don't know what he's doing now. He's in some building. Member minutes. Oh, this is when he met Zack Snyder for like.
What's going on, Zach?
Oh yeah.
What's going on? Yeah. Skywalker, SKII. Can you very quickly just talk about what it's been like in this week's lead up to Rebel Moon being released and everything that Netflix.
He always drops like the same like clips of like him talking to Zack or doing something, be like, oh look, I did this, look.
So here's the. Yeah, well, no, I was gonna say here's the funny part, RJ. I'm not showing on screen because my computer's being stupid right now. But when Skywalker comes up to Zack, right, in this clip we were just listening to, you see the camera on Skywalker. Then he says hi to Zack, and then he puts the camera on Zack. Zack notices the camera in his face, kind of looks at Skywalker like, oh, bro. Like, like...
It's like this guy again.
Right, but also it's kind of like, dude, you just put a camera in his face without even asking him if it's okay. And Zack being nice about it is continuously letting you do it, but at the same time, his face, like...
You can tell, like, he's just like, why can't you just be normal?
Right, like, yeah, why can't you just be a normal person? I'll put the camera in my face. Hold on, let me see if I can get a screenshot so you guys can see, like, what his face actually looks like when he plays it. Because, like, he comes over and notices the camera as soon as he puts it in his face. Hold on, maybe I could play it. Let me see. I'll try to play it. Because it's funny because you can
tell he's annoyed.
Zack's not liking it. Yeah, you can tell he's a little annoyed by it. Let's see, let me get it up. Damn, I need a new laptop, bro. This shit's so slow now. This shit is so slow. Oh, Dave is streaming now. Okay, hold on. Dun, 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 Dave the Film Junkie. He's doing his Superman animated series stuff.
Okay.
Are you playing Mario Kart?
Yeah.
I can hear it. That's funny. Okay, hold on. I'm just waiting for him to play the clip. Because since he's live, I can't, like, go to the exact moment.
Yeah, I get you.
Okay, hold on. I got it. Got it, guys. Hold on, let's look. Do-do-do. Let's do it. All right. I thought RJ was playing Cyberpunk now. All right, so here is the clip right here of him going up to Zack Snyder.
Yo, chilling here. About to meet the man himself again, Zack Snyder. He's with Leon right now, signing some stuff, signing his T-shirt, his ZSSF shirt. Nobody's pawing, you dig? Right, hey, we are here. You know what I'm saying? ZSSM. We in the building.
All right, all the best.
Absolutely. Once again, hey, what's going on, Zach?
How's it?
Can you make that out? Hey, Skywalker, sir. What's going on?
He had to say it's Skywalker, so look, he knows.
Yeah.
Look. He looked at him. Look at how he looked at him.
He looked so annoyed.
He saw the camera. He saw the thing in the face. Yeah, he looked.
He's like, really, dude? We're doing this right now?
Right, we're doing this right now. And the funny thing is, he makes it sound like, oh, we here meeting Zack again. We out here meeting Zack again. He had to remind him of who he was. It's Skywalker, sir, spelled SKII. Like, yo, the way Zack looks at him is like, why do you have this camera in my face?
Can you please get out of here? Like, can you please leave me alone? Like,
why are you here? Last time I saw you, your lips were ashy. Why are they still ashy?
you put
Like,
some
Zack,
lotion on at least today?
right? Zack Snyder's face is just so funny right now. He's just like, oh, why is this camera in my face? Didn't even ask his permission. Hold on, let's watch it.
Skywalker, SKII. Can you very quickly just talk about what it's been like in this week's lead up to Rebel Moon being released and everything that Netflix has been doing with this epic Worlds of Zack Snyder stuff, because it's truly special.
Look, it's awesome, and I really appreciate those guys having sort of foresight to like be able to like set that money aside so I could really do it the right way and all that, and they did. So it's really
absolutely cool. Hey, they seem to be supporting you a whole lot, even up to the ex-head of Netflix film is saying that they want your DC stuff on their platform. So it's been super dope, and you can't wait to watch some directors cuts.
Awesome.
Absolutely.
Right. I can't wait to
have a great day.
Cheers, all of that.
Yes.
He was trying to get out of there
always trying
so
to push the DC Netflix stuff.
He's
just
that
like,
though?
oh, this again.
You see how funny that was though?
Like,
Zack's like, all right, dude. Are you like, he was like trying to push him aside, like, all right, next person, please. Let's move on. He's like, I need to get out of here.
Right? Like, please, can we stop doing the DC thing? I don't know how many times Zack Snyder has to talk about the fact that, yes, would he love to come back and do DC stuff? Yes. What movie director wouldn't want to go back and do DC stuff, even after he's already done some stuff? Of course, Zack would want to go back. But him wanting to go back, he already said, I don't make that decision. I don't own the IPs. I don't own the rights to it. If I ever got a chance to, sure. And that's not him saying, look, he wants to do it. He wants to do it. Let him do it. It's like, bro, he already knows that it's not going to happen. And unlike you guys, he's accepted that reality. And instead of focusing on crying over spilt milk, Zack is a boss and he going to do more things. He's not going to cry about not being able to do DC films. But this is what these guys will have you believe. That Zack wants to do it so bad. He's sitting at home up all night, his wife consoling him, crying that they won't let him finish the Zack Snyder Justice League verse. We won't do the Snyderverse. He's sitting up crying. That man sleeps like a baby. And the next day he wakes up thinking about a new story idea, a new movie project. Maybe he wants to go back to the Dawn of the Dead franchise. Maybe he wants to do that. But nah, let's just speak for Zack Snyder. Let's just take his words out of context and spin and twist them instead of just hearing him for what he actually says. Because that's what these guys do. And that's why I call them out, because they're trying to act like they advocate for Zack Snyder, and they don't. Zack Snyder does not want them attacking his friends, which is what they've done so many times. They've attacked Dave the Film Junkie. They've attacked Stephen Colbert. They've attacked the Nerd Queens. They attacked James Gunn. These are all people that Zack considers his friends. And these fans of his will tell you otherwise. Yeah, Zack Snyder is not a friend of James Gunn. He just talks to James Gunn all the time. Yeah, Zack's not a friend of Dave the Film Junkie. He's just been on his live streams a couple of times. Zack Snyder's not a friend of the Nerd Queens. But he literally did a charity stream on their channel. Make it make sense. Make it make sense. They just want to be friends with Zack Snyder. They want Zack Snyder's personal phone number and direct DMs with Zack Snyder. That's what they want.
Yeah, they want that access.
They want the access because they want to be famous for it. Notice how none of the people that Zack Snyder has been cool with really gained clout off of it.
Nor do they go seeking for clout either.
Right.
That's the other big distinction too. Like, nobody was like, oh, I'm doing this because I want to get famous.
Right, and Zack knows that. That's why he fucks with them. So, I'm curious. What's this called? You know what? I now that I have it on screen, I'm curious. Let's see what he's talking about now. I'm curious. Come on, Buffer. Oh, God, he's doing another member thing.
the hell are
Member
those?
minutes.
What are those?
Austin said he ain't even tripping if I play
I
the
don't
whole
know.
thing. But like, hey, I actually wouldn't mind, man. Right?
Right.
Because
Right.
in the chat talking about, oh my God, it's the first time I didn't heard Rebel Moon was good. It was 10 minutes ago. Right? They talking
Right.
about, yo, the first time bro, they didn't have fucking release parties that was lit.
Yeah, but nobody cared.
Out in New York City.
Yeah, nobody cared.
In the art district or some shit, bro. I was out till midnight. And it was still going.
I'm so cool. Jesus Christ.
Double features, bro. Hundreds of Zack Snyder fans.
Hundreds of us, guys. Hundreds
Rebel
of
Moon
us.
Red Carpet, which had a hell of a lot of fans, bro. Come on, bro. Y'all, man. Y'all.
He counted.
Bro,
He
I
counted,
swear
guys.
to
He did a head
God,
count.
dog. I swear, bro. Bruh, this is the only fan base that I could imagine that people try to convince them that it's not that many of us, even though that shit don't make sense. Bruh, they will argue with the producers of his movies, right? I've
like y'all
legit seen people
like
say,
you guys
hey,
are doing
man,
now.
Zach shit wasn't profitable. And then you bring up the producers' quotes and they like, well, nah, I mean, it was probably profitable to him, but to other people, like, what the fuck are y'all talking about?
No one ever said that.
What does this mean?
Nobody said they weren't profitable. The whole issue is they didn't make the like.
Oh my God.
Oh, I'm not gonna get into that. It's the whole thing.
This is hilarious, dog. This is hilarious, bro. I've like never seen anything like this. Right? This is like people trying to convince the fucking bruh. Imagine like when we sitting here trying to have these conversations about LeBron and Michael Jordan, and I'd be like, man,
I'm done. I can't. I can't.
LeBron and Michael Jordan's where
I can't, bro. I can't, bro. I can't. This is painful to watch, but it's hilarious at the same time because again, this dude is just selling y'all some snake oil. He's a snake oil salesman. He's no better than Sil Abdul. That's why they rock with Sil Abdul, but then they don't anymore.
It's just him crying. It's just him crying, being like, well, people don't like what I like. That's all it is.
And he's also misconstruing once again the quotes that people are saying about. Well, they sit there say that we are the minority, but like we turned out and all the Zack Snyder fans. Okay, so just because there's a lot of Zack Snyder fans, it's not the same as y'all. Like y'all are the bad side of Zack Snyder fans. Does Zack Snyder have a lot of fans? Yes, he does. But y'all over here, Skywalker, you guys are the minority. That is what we refer to when we say that y'all ain't even that massive. And again, just because a bunch of Zack Snyder fans turned up for Rebel Moon, right? And because it was an event and Zack Snyder was there. He was there. Of course, you guys are going to turn up to see Zack Snyder. You guys were going to watch the film with Zack Snyder, right? And then meet him after the meet and greet and get an autograph, which is exactly what y'all did. So, of course, if Zack Snyder is in the room, the fans are going to turn up. But if Zack Snyder wasn't in the room and Rebel Moon got a theater release, then those numbers would definitely be disappointing for y'all.
Like I said, no, I want to know what this guy's reaction is going to be if Zack Snyder's at the Superman premiere.
I hope to God he is.
I really hope he is too, just because I need to see that reaction. I really do.
Well, Anzo says he wants to hear what he has to say about LeBron James and Michael Jordan. I guess we'll play it.
He ain't even that many LeBron. I mean, he ain't even that many Jordan fans, bro. Y'all fan base, he really ain't even that big like that. You're like, what the hell? Like, first of all, what does that even have to do with the conversation? But even if it did, what the hell?
What the hell? I don't know why it's funny.
Bruh, we're a small minority, but they need us for Superman to fucking save it.
No, they don't. They need
That's
the general
it
audience.
for me. Be back tomorrow, yo.
They don't need you guys.
Bro, so again, right? The thing is like
he wants to act like he's a victim. So
it's
bad.
not it's not about needing. Right. It's not that they need the Zack Snyder fan base. It's more like y'all need to calm the fuck down. That's what it comes down to. Oh, Matt wants the link. Come on, Matt. Come on up. Come on up. Come on up. See, I need to definitely get back into these talks, man. I need to start going at Skywalker again because those were good times, man. Those are good times.
He's got to find the right stream and the time because sometimes he cooks and saying really stupid stuff, and sometimes he's just bored as hell.
Yeah. Let's see if Matt comes on. We'll get into some interesting conversations. We'll cook Matt Jarbo for dinner.
He gets cooked enough as it is. Considering he is like number one.
What up?
Movie.
What's going on?
Nah, not much. I've been listening kind of in the distance a little bit, in a little bit of the background, and kind of laughing at, I mean, look, the thing with the thing with our boy here is that, he just keeps saying the same thing, right? Like, no, the streets, man, they listening, man. Like Netflix, they know they want this. Meanwhile, Netflix does everything to counter that. And you're like, but does reality make sense to this man? He went out there again in the black suit without underwear and had a shot that more or less the focal point was his dick. Did you see that, Saggy?
No.
You can see the outline. 100%. He legitimately did not wear underwear. And whoever took that photo had to kneel down and
Get
kind of
right in front of it.
It was just how he was more or less just look at my dick. It's amazing.
Yeah, that's crazy. Yeah, no, I'm just like, damn, I forgot about these people, but after last night, I'm like, I gotta go back to covering these dudes because the shit they're saying right now, especially with the movie coming out next month, is now's the time I make
They're
my
going
comeback.
insane. They're going legitimately insane.
Good.
Yeah, I'm surprised you're not covering them again. You don't want to do Chud Watch no more.
I mean, no, I don't. I really don't. I think it's more along the lines of just because here's the thing, doing it and laughing at them is one thing, but it's if you make that your entire identity with what you do online, it's just the same thing. Yeah, it really is. It's even more. It's even to some extent even more retarded. Because it's you're going you're look at these guys. they're so dumb. And then after a while, you're like, yeah, I know, but why do I keep watching them? I'm not saying don't make fun of it.
It's fun.
No, it's this is a moment where you
watching a car wreck.
It's there's watching the car wreck aspect of it. And then there's also the whole, perhaps maybe I should go and get a degree in psychology to better understand who broke these men. But then it all boils back down to the fact that their dad left, went out for smokes, and never came home. That's what it is.
And
do you think the movie,
because they had no father figure in life, they had to get Zack.
Where is Skywalker's father figure? And it's a sad tragedy. He talks about he lives with his mom, right? I think that's been mentioned before, right?
His mom,
or his mom lives with him. Yeah, he doesn't have his own apartment. I heard this a long time ago.
I thought he had his own apartment.
No.
Doing good for himself.
I thought he was staying at La Quinta Inn.
Yeah, if you know, you know. I dropped a lady off at the La Quinta Inn the other day, and that's one near here, and I'm just I made a joke about if you know, and she's like, what? And I'm all yeah, that was bad.
Like I said, lady, if you know, you know. Yeah, no, I was like, when we were talking about it last night, I was like, oh, dude, I forgot those guys existed. I forgot like all the shit that they like, we all went through dealing with them. And I was like, I miss fighting with those guys. I do, because the fact that Skywalker is growing like Sil, like he became the new Sil Abdul, which is actually what he wanted. I think that's the real reason why they defected, because they wanted to be the new Sil. Skywalker had a movement, and since he was the leader, he didn't want to share that spotlight with Sil, and that's what it was.
Grace Randolph crashing out on Twitter.
About what?
No way.
About Superman. She's crashing out on Twitter.
Why? What's she saying?
She's upset that Superman punched a bad guy's teeth out, saying that Superman would never do this.
I mean, to be fair, that is accurate. To be fair.
Stop it, man.
No, hold on. I'm actually being legit on this one. Think about that, right? Superman, by and large, does not like violence. Remember, there is that animated series episode where he finally gets to fight Darkseid, and he's all like, finally, he's like, I've always had to pull my punches. I've always had to make sure he doesn't hurt people. Now, I get to unleash.
Kill people. Says he kills somebody with his punches. Yes.
Okay. He pulls his punches. He absolutely pulls his punches. So he finally gets an opportunity to beat the shit out of Darkseid, a guy who can take it, versus whatever the fuck this petri dish made Ultraman wannabe thing that Lex Luthor is. Think of the dental work that's going to have to go into replacing that guy's teeth. Okay.
Oh my God.
Now I'm kind of trolling, but at the end, at the same time, she's kind of correct. She's kind of correct, right?
He punches the shit out of people all the time.
No, he doesn't.
Yes, he
does. So did
So-
she have that same energy for when Superman started lobotomizing people?
Or snapping Zod's neck?
I don't know. I didn't know who she was back in 2013.
I'm just saying. I mean, to be upset again. I this is one thing I hate about these conversations, is because it is completely fine to have Superman have stories where he is an all-American hero, and then have stories where he's more humane, a little bit more dark and edgy, and then have stories that combine the two. It's not a
bad guy. Like, it's okay.
Right. Like he punches Lex. It's a scene where he punches Lex Luthor and his teeth comes out. Lex Luthor is a fucking human being getting punched in the face.
That wasn't Lex Luthor. That wasn't Lex Luthor.
It wasn't Lex Luthor. I said it was Lex Luthor.
No. Those all the guys that he's fighting in that scene are all going to be Ultraman clones.
They're not Ultraman clones. They're Raptors.
Okay, what's the difference?
Oh, the title is misleading.
Raptors are they're high-tech soldiers that work for Luthor's private security company.
Okay, and they can fly. So are they enhanced, or are they human in technology?
Oh, I got no clue. I don't know.
Okay, so if Superman is legit, if he's punching out a dude's teeth, that is human, then that is completely gonna end up killing that guy.
He's not gonna die from getting his teeth punched out.
Do you not know what kind of physical trauma can happen with that kind of blunt force impact to the face? I mean, not only that. No. Not only that. Hold on, wait. Hold on. No. We're talking logistics here. Okay, you punch a dude out at that high of an altitude. They are several hundred feet above the air. He's not wearing a helmet. If he falls and he lands on the pavement, there's a high probability he will have massive internal bleeding, organs busted, bones broken, never mind hitting his head and breaking his neck. There's a high probability that man will die as a result of Superman's actions. But please go on about how it's okay to knock out teeth when you're that high up in the air.
Okay, wait, hold on. I gotta get this picture. Because I want to show you the picture, because this makes sense, and this kind of give me a second. I just gotta get it, because my computer is being slower than.
You should bring up her tweets. Though. You need to read her tweets, because she's crashing out.
She has me blocked, but I can still read her tweets. Or maybe she unblocked me.
She's crashing out.
Don't forget, I'm not really on Twitter.
Nope. Okay, she says here. Okay, so she says, "See, to me, I don't think Superman would ever knock someone's teeth out, but some people seem to love it." Then I guess people got mad. So she says, "Look, I see a lot of people trying to justify this, but deep down, he wouldn't do it." Accounts of Superman Avatar send me pictures of Superman solemn and dignified in his action scenes, exactly proving my point. She says, I've read a lot of Superman comics. I've watched a lot of Superman cartoons and movies. Ain't never see anyone's teeth get knocked out. He's supposed to be able to control his strength. Honestly, I think he'd be horrified if he knocked someone's teeth out. Whenever Superman has had to resort to extreme actions, he still has always done it with dignity and pathos.
It's a...
No,
Okay, hold on. I got y'all.
She's right.
Hold on. Give me a second. I'm uploading the picture.
You're only saying she's right because you have a
Hold
hate
on.
voter against
No, I mean, you can make the argument that the character is a Boy Scout. Okay? And the character would do anything he could to neutralize the threat without causing long-lasting physical harm. He's not Batman. He doesn't ride in the shadows.
So
he doesn't wound to people. Okay? He saves kiddies out of trees. He knows what, like, he could just blow on somebody and it would liquefy their corpse.
But Matt, look at his face. His face is all red. I'm assuming because these people kind of put him through a ringer, which means they were probably really strong.
He uses heat vision and it made his face red. That's going to be like the downside to it. Is he overuses the heat vision or some shit like that. That's going to be what it was. And then he's going to go back up after he got knocked down. And if you watch the trailer, he hits the ground. He's like, oh, and then you got Mr. Terrific who's like, get up here into the fight. He's like, I'm doing important things, But
I'm saying, like, he clearly, if it's a heat vision, right? He used so much of the heat vision, these motherfuckers are still standing. And the fact that he used the heat vision to the point where his eyes are now red means that these people were probably strong, where he had to increase his power with the punch, which knocked the teeth out, showing that he hit these people so hard that they knocked their tooth out. So he's finally winning. And I'm not mad at the scene because, again, if it's not like he punched this person that's a regular human who is now dead. He punched the person, the teeth pop out to show that he finally nailed a good blow on this person who basically these people forced him to use so much heat vision that it burned his eyes. So I'm saying that without the context, right? It's easy for somebody to say, well, Superman shouldn't be punching people's teeth out. That's not what Superman would do. But there is no context behind why he hit this person so hard that the teeth came out. Just
Not
saying.
Yet. We don't have that context yet.
But the fact that his eyes are red because he used that much of his heat vision, he overused it, should tell you that maybe these guys are strong.
But also,
really strong.
This is the same movie with a flying dog that wears a cape and can use heat vision. Like,
but I thought it's meant to be grounded enough in a way that would still establish some form of realism, right? Some form of suspension of disbelief.
Superman's not a real person.
So no, because hold on here. In the original 1978 film, the tagline was "You'll believe a man can fly."
This isn't that
and
movie.
It actually is. In this, yes, it is because it absolutely is. They are pulling from the original music.
Jedi is ranting right now.
No. No. Hold on. Let me ask you this then, right? Okay, would you make the argument that the Superman theme music is essential to the character?
Well, it's like the James Bond theme. I would say like it's become synonymous with the character. Yes.
Okay. Well, yeah, but to be fair, the James Bond theme was present in the first film. It was not present in the books. Okay, just like the fact that 40 years prior to the creation of Superman, there was no John Williams score.
Okay.
And then the character of Bond has largely stayed the same. The character of Superman has gone from a man who could jump real high to a homie who can fly because animators needed to save money on the frames used for that animation. So they made him fly because it was cheaper. And then became the original, that became the power levels.
Sure, but the core of the character still remained the same.
Yeah, but the powers have changed. So therefore, you could make the argument that he has ultimately changed, whereas Bond hasn't. Right? Bond's always been a bullet without a target, which is such a great way to identify him. So that's all I'm trying to say here is that they are trying to go back to that aesthetic. Right? James Gunn and Jim Lee saw Superman 1978 in the same theater in Missouri where they grew up.
Yeah.
Kevin Feige shows every Marvel director Superman 78 because that's the blueprint.
Yeah, it is.
So they are going back to that once again in order to try to sell this movie to motherfuckers in their 50s. Because that's what they're doing. That is the core audience here.
Is that why they're going? Is that why the marketing is like geared towards kids and teenagers?
Yes. As a matter of fact, it is. It's the same reason why the fandom menace wants to be able to have everything feel like it was when they were children. That's why they're going back to, Crypto came out in the 1960s. Right? Oh, gee, who would have been a young kid in the 1960s? Oh, that's right. James Gunn.
Yeah,
he's because they want to relive their childhood and they think that's going to be what gets people in the door. And it could work.
Why would they not pull from the source material that they're most comfortable?
Because that is not technically the source material. That is adaptations. If you want the source material, the source would be the original the version of Superman.
What are you talking about?
Cannot fly. Yeah, no.
What are you talking about?
Because if you want to go back to the source, then you got to go back to the source powers, my friend. All right? You can't sit there and pick and choose because that's all they're doing.
From the comics that he read when he was a kid.
And that is still not the source material. That is an adaptation.
You are trolling like Shadow.
I'm not. No. I am partly trolling, but I am formulating an argument. That there, because I did do an article about this a while back, that there is no true Superman because the character has been changed and modified and adapted and updated for now a generation.
Yeah, it's same with Batman and Wonder Woman. Wonder Woman is wildly changed from like her initial conception.
Batman, by and large, has remained very consistent with the exception of he's not killing anyone anymore. Okay, but Wonder Woman has still also been a lot of that as well.
Wonder Woman's origins changed like 5 or 6 times.
Exactly, and this is why DC fails all the time because they don't have the straight origins that people are going to live up to. I'm telling you, man. I'm telling you. In 5 years, they're going to reboot this shit once again.
And you'll be there day one.
Oh yeah, I'm going to be there for a lot of these films day one. These are event films regardless of how I feel about them. Right? I'm not discounting the eventness of the movie. I will fucking be the first to admit, like the 4K of this film is going to be reference quality. Like you can just tell that like it's gonna look real fucking good. 100%. I already plan on buying it. If anything, just for that. It's like even though I felt like the last act of Sinners kind of fell apart, dude, the first 2 acts of that film are fucking are gorgeous to look at. You know, there's good reasons to have those movies. That being said, they're relying way too much on fucking crypto, and I think it's going to fail.
I don't think they're relying on crypto.
Oh my, yes, they are. You can go and get a fucking crypto. You can get a crypto doggy bowl popcorn bucket. You can get a crypto doggy bowl popcorn bucket.
Who cares?
You get to take your little 5-year-old. Go, Daddy, let me get the popcorn bucket. That's a dog bowl, and then you're feeding your kid out of that. Yeah.
Yeah, because they're trying.
Parent of the year, right there, man.
They're trying to get the kids.
So you're not going to get the kid the doggy popcorn box?
No, I'm not getting the kids the doggy popcorn. Are you fucking kidding me? That's retarded.
Why? It's cute. Like, why wouldn't you?
No, I don't buy that shit nowhere anyway.
Okay, but what's wrong with trying to get the kids in the door?
Why are you trying to groom children?
To like dogs?
Oh, especially to like dogs. Dogs are a gateway to pedophilia. Make no mistake.
Yo, that's crazy talk. That's
crazy. See what I'm talking about though? Like he has become such a troll against this movie. Like he is actively becoming a participant in trying to get it to fail.
Yeah, they're gonna start using that. They're gonna start using Matt Jarbo's clips and be like, "See, even Matt Jarbo thinks this movie's trash. You know it's bad when friggin' Matt Jarbo thinks it's gonna fail."
They would 100% like. There's a reason Aaron Fisher loves Matt Jarbo.
No, he doesn't love me. I don't.
He loves you. He loves you.
Unless I get brought up in unless I get brought up in conversation, which I don't think I do with him.
If you asked to do an interview with him, he would 100% agree to it.
Why would I? I would not do that though.
Yes, you would. Don't lie to me.
No, I wouldn't, because look, it's like when I talked to that Ukrainian guy the other night. It's like that. Those people are interesting to talk to, but it's going to be like, you can't really ever do a lot of pushback. So it would just be a conversation of like, okay, so why don't you like James Gunn? Oh, well, James Gunn is a pedophile. Well, what makes you think that? Oh, these tweets. Okay, yeah, but like they're jokes.
They're bad jokes, but they're jokes.
They're bad jokes, but they're jokes, you know? And then it's just like, okay, well, then he might dig into that. No, he was like blah, this and this and this and this. And you're like, oh, like the parties that they held, the theme parties that they held, like where they were making fun of religion. But you can tell someone like him is religious. So you're not going to be able to like break through that barrier. It's like, there's no point in talking to them. And I don't want to anyway. That's way too much energy I'm going to have to fucking expend in trying to make fun of him while making him feel like I'm not.
Yeah. Well, they're gonna say that you're supporting them now, because just like they used Joe Rogan to express like, see, Joe Rogan even thinks this is shit. And I don't know if you heard the part where Joe Rogan isn't even a fan of Superman. He's more of a Marvel fan anyways. So he was gonna shit on Superman no matter what. Did you know that Joe Rogan's not a fan of DC, and he's been?
No, I don't. I don't listen to Joe Rogan.
They're also using Ben Shapiro, saying Ben Shapiro not liking the movie is evidence that's going to fail.
I mean, Ben Shapiro's wife is usually drier than the Sahara. Okay, like that man doesn't know anything. But they're going to use whatever they can in order to get whatever argument across they need to make. And like, look, it's the same thing that like the pro DCU people are when they're battling the Snyder people, right? Like they'll pull out the argument of like, well, like this happened or that happened and whatever, and they try to use it as an argument, and then it's, then the Snyder Bros will come back with, well, yeah, but then like this was the context, and it's like, it doesn't matter. It just doesn't matter to these people. They just don't care. So.
You're still a troll.
No, I definitely troll. Yeah, no, 100%. And the thing is, I want this movie to be good. Like I said in that video today, I am open to it. I have my legitimate complaints about, like, again, the lack of, I don't care if it's just fucking Lex versus Superman again. We've seen that. That's boring. Give me something else. Where's the B plot? I'm sure we're going to get to the B plot. Okay. But I want to know more. All right. So maybe we'll get that when we're there. Gunn being in all the marketing. Your point about them trying to separate from Zack Snyder makes sense. It makes sense. That was a good argument that you made last night. That stuck with me 100%. Still think it's kind of odd that Gunn is like, okay, so today, for example, they did 20 minutes at Fandango.
Great, by the way. I really enjoyed it.
It was okay. I watched it. It was I like Corn Sweat. I do like Corn Sweat quite a bit, and I think he's a good embodiment of the character.
The character that you hate.
The character that I find boring. Yes. But I will say though, like when he was doing that arm wrestling thing and he did the fucking Princess Bride quote, like that was endearing. Like when he was in his car and he redid the entire trench run sequence, that was endearing. Like he's an endearing guy. Like his charisma, it will come through. And I almost feel like it's kind of going to be wasted on this film, because I think his charisma is a little bit more open than that. And he's going to be, this one's going to be either like bumbly Clark or like more serious Superman. And like, there's not going to be like that middle ground. Henry Cavill didn't have that either.
Did you watch the trailer?
Yeah, I watched the trailer.
Okay. Then there is a middle ground, my dude.
Are you talking about where he's all like, you're a loser?
There's that, but also too like, hey buddy, eyes up here.
But that's not, but that's still,
that's showing some personality.
That's what kind of personality is that showing? It's a one-liner. It's a quip. Okay,
it's showing playfulness.
Hey, kaiju, eyes up here. Oh, look at me while I fly up and then I come down and punch you in the head. Okay, cool.
Or how about when he's talking to Mr. Terrific, who's yelling at him to get back to work?
Yeah, that was more of a, I don't know. That felt like not as good acting, to be fair. I didn't like that. He's, that like was like, oh,
Oh my God. You're going to make me crash out one of these days.
I mean, I think that's the goal at this point. I want to drive you insane.
Because between you and Sean, I don't know who has worse takes when it comes to this movie.
Oh, no, because I'm just being a dick, but I'm using valid arguments to make it my, Sean is really going after the filmmaking. And the thing is, I don't disagree. on
Sean.
like the
Have
thing
you watched
today.
Sean's videos, Zach?
Yeah.
No, I don't think Sean
Okay,
likes
can
me
you
anymore.
can you watch? There's a 4-minute, or maybe Matt can bring it up. There's a
I,
4-minute video he put out that I need Saggy to watch this. Because Sean has gone off the deep end when it comes
No,
to the movie.
it's really, you only need to watch like 10 seconds of it. And it's the 10 seconds I clipped out and put up on Twitter. And then also I made it a TikTok as well.
Share your screen, because I think sharing screens is better than me trying to share.
Yeah.
My computer's been lagging like a motherfucker.
Dude, everything. My computer. I was at Costco today and I saw that they had like this $2,600 computer, and I was like, my daughter's like, "Are you gonna buy it?" I'm like, "If I could." Holy shit, if I could. All right. Okay, bring it up.
Oh, hold on.
Okay, so this is just 8 seconds, his reaction to the different CG in the movie. I think this is a great sound bite too.
What the fuck is this? What the fuck is this? What the fuck is this? What the fuck is that? What the fuck is this?
I'm. Can you like send that link to me? I need that as a soundbite.
Yeah. What the fuck is this?
Yeah.
But that's the whole video. The whole video is just him saying, this is effing dope. This is effing cool. F this, F that. It's just him cursing up a storm saying it's awful.
Well, he's pointing, like he's calling the movie cheap. And
cheap,
some of those shots,
cheap?
some of those shots look kind of cheap. What cracked me up was there was one of those guys today.
They modeled it after Top Gun Maverick.
I know I haven't seen Top Gun Maverick. I can't speak to that. So
I'm just saying. I think the movie will be okay. It's Superman. It's like Superman's really an easy sell. It really
James
is.
Gunn has not made a bad superhero movie. He's not made a bad comic book movie, period.
You know who hasn't made a bad movie also is Zack Snyder. Have you seen Rebel Moon? Fucking cinema.
Well, I won't say that. Listen, I don't think James Gunn's Suicide Squad was amazing. I'm not gonna lie. I don't think it was that amazing.
It gets better.
I mean, I'm not saying it's
Starro
bad.
was fucking awesome.
I mean, listen, I'm not saying. Listen, I'm personally, my opinion, right, is because, like, again, I cannot think something is wow, but still think that James Gunn is good, because I love Peacemaker. I loved Guardians of the Galaxy. So I just thought that out of all of them, like the Suicide Squad movie would be the weakest for me personally. But I think that when it comes down to it, first of all, it's not hard to sell Superman to general audiences. It really is not that hard. It's Superman. The kids are going to see it. They're going to love it no matter who is in that suit. And the fans, fans who don't care about all this shit as much as all these YouTubers do, they're going to probably like it too, because it's Superman. It's like Apple, right? Why do people buy Apple products? Is it because they're amazing phones, or are they the best phones out there? Are they better than Samsung? Well, that depends on what you want, what you like about the phone. But the primary thing, like, God, I can't talk. The thing why people buy Apple phones, it's because of the branding, right? When people buy Apple phones, it's because Apple is a high tier brand. When you have an Apple phone as a kid, you're flexing that you have an Apple phone. You don't want Samsung, you want an Apple phone, right? It's branding. Superman's a brand. It sells itself. It really does. If you fuck up, like, I have not seen. Superman.
I don't think you are accurate on that one.
I am accurate. You know why? Because all the Superman films that come out, have they done well?
No. Well, I mean,
name one Superman movie that came out that didn't do really well. Name one.
Superman Returns is technically.
Superman Returns didn't do bad. It's just that it was a disappointment in the eyes of the studio. It wasn't like it did bad though. It just wasn't like a huge earner. Plus, I think the bigger issues in the movie wasn't critically, like, it was kind of critically mixed. That was more so the issue with that movie.
But this is what I'm saying. Superman, even a movie like Superman Returns might be one that fans didn't think was the best, but it wasn't the worst. I have not heard people really shit on a Superman movie that's ever existed. I've never heard people really shit on it. 4
and 3 were pretty bad.
Yeah. Quest for Peace was pretty shit. Superman 3 was pretty. We were also kids, so back then it was totally different, right? Like, as a kid, I love Quest for Peace.
Right. That's what I'm saying, right? Like, Superman sells itself because Superman is for the most part, kid-friendly superhero film. Superman has always been very kid-friendly. Even when Zack Snyder did Superman, it was still like kids loved Superman. That's just the character. It's like the kids that want to go to school. Everybody oh my God, the kids got to have the Jordans, the fresh Jordans. These little kids want to go to school with Superman on their shoes and Spider-Man on their shoes. It's the characters that they love. And I'm telling you, it sells itself. You don't got to really wow the fucking old ass fans, because the kids are going to want to see it with their parents. And like, that's what I'm saying. Like Superman Legacy will do good because it's Superman. Because it's Superman. Point blank, period. It's not going to fail.
Okay, well, okay. Let me kind of put it to you like this, Saggy. From 1989 to 2006, so 15 years, we did not have a Superman movie, but we had 4 Batman films. Sorry, 1987 to 2006.
They were pushing Batman like crazy.
Yeah, but why didn't we get any Superman in the 90s?
Because a lot of the Superman movies that they were developing fell apart.
And if he was such a
I also think in fairness too, Matt, you forgot that that's when they started pushing the CW shows.
The CW didn't exist in the 90s.
WB. They started doing like WB. They started doing TV shows.
They were doing the animated shows, which just did well. And you think with the end, but you got to remember though, is that the animated shows in the 80s were made as ways to push toy sales. So if they were trying to do that there must have been enough money to do another Superman movie in the 90s, and the toy sales would have been able to be fucking peak because they were still going hot in the 90s.
We didn't get the movies, but we also got the Smallville show. The Smallville show did really good.
That didn't happen until 2000. That was 2000. I'm talking 1990s, baby. 2000, the fall of 2000 is when Smallville launched.
They were trying to get movies off the ground, but they fell into development hell. And then what happened in the 90s? You had the collapse of Batman as a franchise with Batman Forever and Batman and Robin, which underperformed and were critically panned, right? So that's where a lot of that stuff got put on the back burner.
Well, Batman and Robin, I mean, they still 97 to 2005 is only 8 years. Okay, 1908 still found a way to get Batman off the ground before we got another Superman movie.
They were both in development at the same time, though.
I think though back then Batman was a lot more popular than Superman for a while. I think the Batman hype was a lot more. Fans wanted more Batman.
People like Batman. Superman is kind of hit or miss.
People do like Superman. What are you talking about?
No, people do like Superman, but Batman was at the peak in that era, though.
No, Batman's always been popular. No one's doubting it.
The Batman, they were doing the Batman animated series, which lasted a long time, and then they had the Superman series that would go on.
Smallville was huge. Superman and Lois was huge. Supergirl was a pretty relative success for its network viewings. My Adventures with Superman became a surprise hit where they've greenlit multiple seasons and spinoffs. Like, Superman's not an unpopular character. Now, is Batman a bigger character? Absolutely, but it's not like Superman's not popular.
He is less popular.
He's still popular.
He's still popular though. Matt, they were doing Batman and Superman, so it was oversaturated with DC. It was all Batman and Superman.
What?
And those it's all they like DC's only for them that like decades pushed Superman and Batman primarily. That's why now we're only getting like the other Justice League characters, but it's always been primarily Batman and Superman that was kind of leading DC. That's why Superman was still popular, because they were only doing Batman and Superman stuff.
Well, I mean, you think about it, it was Arrow. The Arrowverse was supposed to be Batman.
Yeah, but they didn't. But for some reason, that always pissed me off. I don't know why they never just did a
more like Batman. Yeah,
right. But why didn't they just do a friggin' Batman? They just always wanted to keep Batman.
Because there was a rights issue with Batman and TV at the time.
Yeah.
So they couldn't do it.
No, I know.
There's one guy. Isn't it Michael Uslan, right?
Yeah, he's the producer of all the Batman stuff. But there was like an actual like legitimate rights issue. Like Batman could not be featured like prominently as like on a TV.
Well, yeah, because Michael Uslan owns the rights for the visual side of things, right? Like he actually bought the rights, and that's why he's still the producer on everything. Like Warner Brothers, like I think they own the IP, but the film rights were bought by Uslan back in the 70s. So like so it's kind of like the whole Universal and the Hulk thing. You know, like Hulk can be in a movie with other people, but it can't be predominantly the Hulk.
Because but Michael Uslan's pretty cool at using Batman and whatever.
Oh yeah, no, 100%.
Yeah, like they've relaxed the TV stuff too.
Yeah, I think he just wants to get paid. Like
that's really it. Yeah.
That's really about it. It's like, yeah, no, because he gets his name as a producer and all that shit.
Yeah, and he probably gets royalties from it too.
So it's like
but
he's probably
but
just
that's
like,
what I'm
right,
saying. Like, to say Superman isn't popular, like, nah, man. Especially back those days, like Superman was still popular. They still had the animation shows and shit that were doing really well. But like, they slowed down on like movies for sure with Superman because like they were more focused on the Batman films because Batman films were doing wicked numbers. Tim Burton's Batman movies, all those Batman movies, they were doing great. So,
do you
like,
think the Tim Burton Superman movie would have actually done well?
Yes.
I think people would have checked it out of curiosity. I don't think it would have been received well, but I think people would have watched it.
I think it would have did good if Tim Burton did Superman, to be honest with you, and then like mixed it in with Batman.
I don't think it would have been a good movie, but I do think people would have watched it.
No, we'll never know now.
Yeah, it's just one of those mysteries.
I mean, like I said, they focus on Batman movies because Batman movies were doing amazing, and why focus? Why waste the money on doing Superman at that time when Batman movies were guaranteed cash grabs? Like anytime a Batman movie came out, the theaters were the box office was lit. So of course they weren't going to focus on Superman because like I don't know. I just think Batman was more profitable for them. That's my theory, at least, because it just makes the sense of how you're right. Because they didn't do a Superman movie in a while, but they were doing a shit ton of Batman films. Do you disagree?
No, it's because Batman's a more popular character. You know, that's really all
I would agree. Batman is a more popular character.
Now, if they are able to figure out how to make Superman work in a way that is relatable to where we are now, you know, so what is this here? Okay, the someone on the boxofficetheory.com forums is saying that the Superman okay, it's an okay start to the pre-sales, definitely not anything spectacular, just on the edge of disappointing based on my benchmark. This guy is a pretty big power player on the on that fandom. Let me see here. I can show you this. So, oh wow, it looks like only 4.3% of total seats available have been sold for the first day of Superman.
Well, yeah, I'm sure a lot of it's going to be carried by word of mouth as well. That's why they're doing fan ratings.
Oh yeah, no, I mean they're doing the one.
I'm not expecting this to be like some massive $200+ million opening. Like, I don't think they are either. I think anything north of $100 million is a success.
Yeah, I think it could do over 100 million. I'm not. Yeah, I think it could.
I mean, that's really all it has to do.
I think realistically, though, 75 to 80, I think would probably be more of an accurate. But it's not going to be less than that.
I mean, yeah, it's been the biggest pre-sales in Fandango of the year so far
for one showing.
Well, actually, no, they updated to say like today's been crazy for them.
But again, it's been looking at, as we did earlier on Perp Stream, looking at some of the key places. It's not. So it's like it's.
Well, again, we'll see. I mean, Fantastic Four, they said it was the biggest pre-sales, but there was a lot of empty seats too.
And I have a feeling they say that in hopes of trying to get people to come on in and buy. If you buy through Fandango, oh gee, who gets some of that money? Fandango. So they're in every way. Batman became more profitable because the shift from people wanted to consume. Yeah, I mean, if you think about it, in the early 90s when the Batman animated series came out, as well as, you know, some of that stuff we were in, like the Desert Storm, you know, underneath the first Bush administration. Now we're in another situation where people are You know, they want a cathartic release. They don't want hope. They want a cathartic release. And I don't know if Superman is going to give them a cathartic release or not.
So, question actually. So, the highest grossing opening weekend for any DC movie, I believe, was BVS at 166 million.
Yeah.
So, if Superman made it just to beat out BVS for the biggest opening for a DC movie ever, how will the Snyder community react, do you feel like?
Well, I don't think there will be flowers and accolades. I don't believe that will happen.
Will there be tears?
There will be a lot of remember when Captain Marvel came out, did really well?
Everyone said fake.
And they said that Disney was buying seats. You're going to hear the exact same thing.
You think so?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. You're going to absolutely hear that that's going to happen.
100%.
And I'll tell you this, after the whole fucking situation with I'll tell you, I don't think like I don't think they've done it, but I do think that like Sound of Freedom a couple years ago, I think that had some of that shit going on.
Well, they were actively encouraging it though. That was the difference.
Yeah.
They were actively encouraging that buy seats for other people, buy early to support kind of thing. That was a little bit different though with that whole.
I honestly feel like that should be something that they should do for every movie.
What, go like buy ahead, buy other people's seats?
Yeah. Did you like this movie? Buy a ticket for a friend.
I mean, it would be interesting if we started doing that for all the other movies. I mean,
horror should definitely do it. I mean, not that horror has a problem with that, but like smaller movies should do that, you know, because you look at some of those films and then they'll be like, they go to small markets and they do okay in the small markets and then they go wide and then it kind of goes flat, you know, or people are then again just waiting until stuff becomes, what's the word I want to use here? Yeah, I don't know. Fucking. Oh, man. Okay. So, anyway, what else is going on?
Nothing, just, shitting on the Snyder Bros like usual, like good old times. RJ's been playing Mario Kart in the background.
I'm playing Fortnite right now, actually.
Are you playing it on the Switch too?
Yes.
Okay.
Runs pretty well.
It better, considering how dog shit those games were on friggin' Nintendo Switch the first time.
Yeah, but one of my friends, they only play Fortnite on the Switch because it's the only console they have, so. Well, that's all you got. You make do what you got.
So what have you been up to, Matt?
You know, just
trolling.
A little bit light trolling. Kind of chill with the kids. We were playing Mario Kart tonight. We were all racing each other. That was fun. You know, I got to get better at the controls on that game. Some of that stuff's a little bit you know, I always hate.
It takes some getting used to, like all the new mechanics and stuff.
Yeah. What I really don't like is how Nintendo moves. Like they should just adapt the, you know, the same kind of controller schematic that Xbox, Sony, and PC have.
What do you mean?
Like how the A button is where the B button is, you know, and it just becomes like you have to like retrain your brain.
Oh, yeah.
When you're using a Nintendo, and like the older I get, the more I don't want to do that.
You're so old.
I am. I'm getting there. Yeah.
Shame on you for being old. Have you played Marvel Rivals yet, Matt?
No, God, no. I don't like.
Why?
Hero shooters. I don't like hero shooters.
It's not a shooter. It's like Overwatch.
That's a hero shooter.
That's not a hero shooter.
RJ.
Yeah, I mean, technically speaking, it is a hero shooter.
Thank you.
I mean, it is a competitive PvP, like team based, but it is technically a hero shooter.
Because every character you play is a hero.
Has different abilities, yeah.
Whatever. I consider it just a fun game that you should play because you're lame. Thank you,
You should
Bobo, for the
still play
$2.
it, yeah.
Matt trolls me about Superman, so here's Boba money. Well, thank you.
I don't troll him about Superman. He gets mad whenever I bring it up. It's him. It's not me. It's him. You know, I say what I say, and then he's like, "Oh no," you know, gets real mad.
He gets mad.
Yeah, Mo takes it real personal.
How has Sean been? I haven't talked to him in a while. I think he doesn't talk to me because of all that drama that happened back in the day.
Oh, yeah, how Sean O'Rourke is?
Yeah, because ever since that drama, I haven't really talked to him.
Okay, as far as I know, he's okay. I mean, we talk, but it's mostly about pissing off Donovan.
That's true. Donovan likes to get mad over nothing.
He gets so mad. He gets so triggered.
Oh my God, AI. Ever since you talked about AI, man, I don't know, you pissed off so many people over that AI.
I know,
stuff.
because they want me to stop talking about it.
So many people left your community, and then you angered people to the point where they stalk you every day.
I know.
It's the hill you chose to die on, though.
They stalk you, they stalk your friends.
It's because I feel like, well, I mean, listen, I know, and that part sucks. I don't like that. Be mad at me all you want. I don't care. You know, I mean, like, probably like the one person that I feel bad about who left over the AI thing is Ryan Hartwell, because Ryan was a good dude and stuff. And he DMs me occasionally on Discord to check in. But like, and I think he still probably watches and everything. But I'm not going to stop talking about things that I think are you know, going to be the next like level of where things are. You know, I'm not going to sit there and stray away from that because somebody's mad at me. You know what I mean? Like, that's just not me. I'm just not going to do it. But give me a minute to go use the restroom and I'll be right back.
He's got a poo.
I do actually. It's a Bruin.
That's crazy.
I'm going to go take a saggy. I'll be right back.
That's wild. What
He's gonna take it. He's gonna take it.
I mean, what am I supposed to say? What am I supposed to do?
That's a good boy. I don't know.
He's gonna break the toilet again.
Did he break the toilet?
Yeah. Mo for $2. Matt, keep up the AI talk. Here's more Boba money. Well, when he gets back, I'll keep it on the screen. I don't know what else there is to talk about. I've been streaming for 3 hours. I thought this was gonna be like an hour and a half. I told my dude, I was like, I'll be streaming for an hour and a half. He's probably not surprised. He's probably in there like, yeah, when you say an hour and a half, it's probably gonna be like 4 hours. And it's like, hey, if the stream is here, the stream is here.
It's crazy.
What?
Hey, I just got a win in Fortnite.
Congratulations. I gotta re-download Fortnite. I gotta figure out how to. I looked at my block list. You weren't on it. I didn't see you.
Yeah, I don't know, but I'm not popping up when I type in the chat.
Okay, well, you're gonna have to send me your YouTube channel so I can go to the actual channel.
I texted it to you.
Okay. I'm gonna have to do that. Hang on, let me do that now. I even was looking up your YouTube channel. Like, bro, where? Yeah, I go to your channel and I go to. It still says hide user for my channel. So if I hid you from the channel, I blocked you.
Did you block me? Like, you don't have to hide me from the channel, but you could have blocked me. Have you checked your blocked users?
Yeah, I didn't see you on my blocked users.
That's weird then. Because I wasn't popping up. Yeah, no matter what I was doing, it just wasn't popping up on your chat.
Yeah, I don't know why it's saying that. Because usually I just hide users. I'll go to the page and hide users from the channel. So I have no idea.
Yeah, you should download Fortnite right now.
I mean, if I have space for it.
How would you not have space for it?
Because I have a bunch of games I downloaded. I was playing a scary game the last days.
Just delete some games. You're not playing anymore. Ugh. So are you gonna see Superman, Saggy?
Yeah, I'm gonna see Superman. Yeah.
How many times are you gonna see it?
Once. I only seen movies once. Even when I loved Deadpool and Wolverine, I did not go back in theaters to see it again. I don't really like rewatching stuff I've watched often, like at least not right away. Like I might go back and revisit it maybe like in a year or two, be like, you know what, I want to watch Deadpool and Wolverine again, but I don't watch them like back to back. That's kind of like crazy. I just don't know. But I am excited for Resident Evil 9. Did you see the Resident Evil 9 trailer? I finally saw it today.
Oh yeah, it looks great. I'm excited for it. Did you see the details about it?
All I know about it is we're going back to Raccoon City, which is kind of crazy because Raccoon City was definitely, without question of a doubt, destroyed.
So, two main characters.
Yeah, isn't it Grace Ashcroft and Leon,
the
right?
rumors that's going to be Leon, yeah. They haven't revealed Leon yet, though. But they said there's going to be two main characters. One is Grace, the other one's going to be a familiar character that you've known from the past. So it's probably Leon.
Yeah, it's probably Leon.
They said you can play it either in third person or first person. You get to pick.
That I know. Yeah, I know.
So that's, yeah.
And then I'm trying to figure out like why we're going back to Raccoon City. Like I'm excited, but at the same time, like Raccoon City.
Yeah, you're going years after the city's been nuked.
So they just started rebuilding?
No, I think it's abandoned. But you're going back for probably some reason.
Right, but in like the Resident Evil franchise, I think Outbreak, it showed that the entire place was destroyed. There shouldn't be any buildings standing. They only show like a big pot, a big like empty space where the nukes hit, but it shouldn't still have any buildings standing.
I don't know. They'll probably talk about it.
Yeah, that's weird.
Oh, the new Resident Evil game?
Yeah, and it's also cool that that Grace Ashcroft is bringing back the Outbreak characters that everyone probably forgot, unless you're a hardcore Resident Evil fan. That's actually kind of cool that they're doing that. So, like, that's the link to Outbreak characters. So I'm wondering if we're going to get more Resident Evil Outbreak characters to make cameos.
Yeah.
Which I think is kind of sad because Outbreak was definitely, I think it was underrated. I think if it came out during the time of like online gaming, like actual the games like how they are online now, probably would have done better because all of the Resident Evil online multiplayer games have been ass.
Yeah, that's why they're not really doing them anymore.
Because they were ass. They were the game mechanics for it was awful because they tried to make it feel like a Resident Evil old school game and it just didn't feel right for a multiplayer. I mean, did you ever play Resident Evil Operation Raccoon City?
No, but
I think I did one time. That was the multiplayer one, right?
Yeah, that was the multiplayer one with each character having special ability.
It was bad. It was bad. I heard it was really bad.
It was fun for a while but it was like mechanics for it were just absolutely dog shit. Like the way you move was like trash. It was pretty bad. What are you typing? Who's typing?
Me, I am. I'm working on memes.
What kind of memes?
Just I'm looking around Reddit, finding like odd things, like movie related stuff, and then trying to like grab it and throw it up on a schedule, so I can have content going out.
Are you streaming tonight?
I don't know. I don't really want to.
Yeah, Snowdub said, what the fuck, Jarbo's still around? Jarbo's never not been around.
Yeah, Snowdub, you fucking piece of shit.
Why is he a piece of shit?
Are you fucking kidding me? He's still a piece of shit.
Why?
Who?
Why you guys hate each other again? I forgot why you guys hate each other.
No, because we were in that Mad Max thing, and I made one joke about a fucking hat this one fucking Fandom Menace guy was wearing, and Snowdub started crying out his pussy and fucking ran and told everybody. And then they all clutched their pearls and fell over on the fight. He wasn't. He just was like, oh, how dare you make fun of this guy? Oh, my God. Okay, whatever, dude. Listen, let me know your address. I'll send you some goddamn My Doll. All right? Fuck you.
Oh, my Lord. Why do all my friends argue? Why can't I have all my friends?
Because you hang out with some shitty people like Snowdub.
Damn.
Snowdub's not a shitty person.
He's
not a
pretty
person.
shitty, pretty shitty.
Wait, he's shitty because he defended somebody you shitted on?
Dude, it was a private comment. It's the same fucking thing Austin did running to Enosh. Really over something that like fucking, you know, what was it? Degrassi started. Like these fucking whiny cunts in these goddamn DM groups. Someone makes a comment, oh my God, I'm so offended at a private thing that was said. Oh my fucking God. I have to go tell everybody.
No, I do remember this. Wait, I do remember this. I remember the person you talk shit about, and I remember why Snowdub was upset.
I just made fun of the fact that an asshole bought a fucking like Geeks and Gamers hat. Like my fucking God.
I remember who it was. I met him. He was a sweet dude, though.
I don't fucking care. The guy bought a goddamn Geeks and Gamers hat.
He didn't buy it. He got it with a free. Because he didn't.
No,
buy the
that
hat.
guy bought it. No, he was openly talking about getting his merch that he bought. I think the reason why Snowdub was upset was because he thinks I was making fun of an autistic guy because he himself is autistic.
He's not autistic, but
he's definitely got a touch of the tism.
I have a Geeks and Gamers
hard touch
hat
of the tism.
too. I have a Geeks and Gamers.
You
hat
were
too.
given one. That guy bought one. There's a difference.
Wait. I have to push back on this. So you're clowning on him for buying merch from a YouTube channel?
Do you remember what I said to you when you were like, hey, I went to the Geeks and Gamers meetup in Boston and I got a Rebellion hat. Do you remember what I said to you about that?
Actually, very disappointed.
Very disappointed. I think the words I used were disappointed, and I used it in my big boy voice, so you know. I mean,
for the record, first of all, for the record, though, I didn't buy it. It was free.
Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. You're trying to defend this guy buying it, me making fun of him for buying it, and then you're like, I got one for free. Okay, like
listen,
again,
if you made hats and people bought it, I wouldn't make fun of them for buying it. Although I'd want one for free, though.
Dude, I just spent $75 on a fucking Hollywood After Dark hat, like getting a prototype done. And I wasn't happy with it. And I was like, God damn it. But yeah.
But I would get it because you know why? Because I support you. And I think that's why people are like, why are you shitting on somebody for
sure. Listen, here's the thing. If somebody bought a Hollywood After Dark hat, I would almost expect somebody else to give him shit for it. All right. Like I gave him shit privately. It wasn't like I was out there going like, you fucking tard. All right. I didn't do none of that. I just made a joke privately.
You can't say slurs on our show.
What, tard?
Yeah, you can't say slurs.
I say it all the time. Yes, you can. I say it all the time now.
No, I think you're it's my pronunciation. I'm saying turd. But my family origins are from the Midwest in Canada. So it sounds like I'm saying a slur. No, but I'm saying turd, but it sounds like tard.
Well, it makes you sound retarded, so stop.
Okay. There you go. No, RJ, it's retarded. You got retarded.
I'm just saying, I remember that situation too, and I think I also was kind of like, yeah, you probably should.
No, because again, it's a private conversation, and little bitch cunt boy was running his fucking mouth about it. He ran to daddy because he wanted points to come after me. He wanted points with those people, so he fucking ran his little goddamn fucking cunt mouth. And fucking and was like trying to get them all mad at me so they'd look at him like he's a fucking hero. That's all it was. He took a private joke and then fucking ran with it publicly because he was like,
who leaked that? But who leaked that?
He was in the DM group because Max added him in there.
Oh, okay. I don't remember the details.
So he it still was a private comment that he still took, and he ran to fucking Jeremy and fucking 3PO and Kennel and whatever, trying to, and then they all get mad performatively. They don't give a shit because all these people are fucking marks to them. They're all fucking marks. They're all rubes that just be hung up down by their fucking ankles and shook for whatever coins fall out of their pocket.
I mean, in fairness to what you said about them, do I think that they cared that much? I don't think they would have cared unless it didn't come from you.
They don't know. Again, because it comes from me, and it's not what I said. It's the fact that it's me.
No, that's what I just said.
That's all it is. So yeah.
That is
so Snowdub is a whiny.
Yeah, but Snowdub isn't them.
He ran to them to get validation. He didn't give a fuck. He would have gone to that guy then. He wouldn't have gone to fucking Jeremy and those guys to cry and fucking complain about it.
I think that, first of all, this shit happened so long ago.
Hey, it doesn't mean I'm not gonna sit there and be like, oh, hey, what's up, Snowdub? No, you're a piece of shit. I hope you get cancer of the dick, and fuck you.
Hey, don't we wishing cancer of people?
I'm not wishing cancer on him, just of his dick, something he doesn't use anyway. Okay.
That is not true. He definitely uses pee-pee.
I mean, look,
He got a
that
kid
puppet,
just like you. You got a
that
kid.
puppet gonna get filled with something.
That's
and
crazy.
it's some kind of spunk.
You know what's
That's
funny
for
is
certain.
you know what's kind of funny though. I think me and Snowdub talked about it, about how that stream that you guys were on was kind of funny because it was like him arguing with you with the puppet was hilarious to me because like you were literally arguing with a puppet, and I was like, that's the most funniest thing I've ever seen. Oh my god, you guys are wild. I'm waiting for Matt to say something.
I don't have anything else to say on the matter. I don't like him. Fuck him. May he fucking have a miserable life, and that's it.
Yo, that's wild. He actually is doing really well on YouTube, though. He hit 10,000 subscribers.
Congratulations. You've done it on the backs of people who are better than you. Congratulations.
No, he actually didn't. He did that on his own. He started covering. He got a hot topic, doing reactions to people crying over Donald Trump winning, and he started doing reactions to those, and it actually blew up.
Oh, okay. So again,
in
content.
fairness, those
there
reactions were crazy, but those reactions were crazy. People
are definitely mad. Some of those are pretty funny. As a liberal, I'll say that 100%. But let's not think that that's anything other than it's playing to the same audience. Jeremy did the exact same thing. No, Jeremy did. Jeremy's got his D-Day Cobra account, and that's exactly what he was doing. And he was out there saying that the election was stolen and all this shit until people started getting fucking, popped for it on YouTube. And then he fucking backed off like, oh, I'm never going to talk about it again.
Yeah,
so,
but I would
it's
say
all
that's the same
performative.
thing because he was just reacting to those videos where Jeremy was actually like talking like conspiracy theory type stuff, like Donald Trump.
Look, they're all retarded in my opinion. All right, like I don't care.
I think politics are retarded anyway.
No, politics is wildly important, and people should be paying attention. But it's like
when I say politics retarded, I'm like arguing about the things because it's more so both parties have points and they both want to win, and I don't think they really generally care about half the shit they talk about. I think it's all about.
I would look at it as being like
to get a vote, bro. That's what I feel.
One party wants to expand your rights, one party wants to take them away. I'll let you pick. That's really what it boils down to.
The Democrats are trying to take our rights away, and the Republicans are trying to lift
I'm
them.
okay. Wait, I'm okay. Well, what rights do we talk about? Because I'm okay with some of them being taken away. Because I feel like
Snowdub is in the chat.
Yes. The fuck?
Oh,
you don't see
I
him?
didn't notice.
You don't see him?
No one sees him.
my-
He's insignificant.
In Seattle
That's wild.
for a good time.
Well, no, I was gonna say,
I'm in Seattle. I want you to go to like 3rd Avenue and just hang out there. And you'll have a great time in Seattle on 3rd.
Okay, so my thing is with politics, as far as politics is concerned, kind of circling back to that conversation, it depends on what rights are going to be removed, because I feel like as society, I don't think some people should have rights anymore. And if I have to sacrifice my rights to help suppress the rights of people who don't deserve them, so fucking be it. Because
the question then becomes, who do you think doesn't deserve the rights?
It depends on what rights we're talking about.
What? Because I troll Superman fans? Jesus.
Yes. You shouldn't have the rights of freedom of
You
speech.
should be sent to El Salvador because of the things you have said.
I agree. I think you should.
It would be a great weight loss program, to be fair. Just saying. Although I am down to like 205, so that's good. A couple years ago, I was at 240, so I'm very happy.
I'm just saying. I think overall, okay, you guys will never like each other. Fine. What can I say? I can't stop that. But
no, I'm never gonna like someone like him ever. I have nothing but contempt and ill feelings for.
Bro, it was one incident though.
I don't give a shit. Not one fucking bit.
Like
I don't give a shit.
I hold grudges too, but like
I hold grudge. Like again, you want to criticize me over some shit.
It's like you're my boy. You're both my boys. So if I'm staying out of it, I love both of you. But if y'all gonna hate each other, that's fine. But I love both of y'all.
No, that's fine. Listen. Fuck him. That's all I'll say about that. But
I don't think you actually hate him.
No,
I really don't actually hate him.
RJ, I really don't like a lot of people.
Yeah, but not like somebody is but hate.
Okay,
hate might be a bit of a strong word. Like,
name 5 people.
Like if he was on fire, I would piss on him. How about that? Okay.
That's crazy.
All
right? I would have enough empathy to do that.
Name 5.
But I'd eat an asparagus first.
Name 5 people you hate. Go.
That I hate?
I guess.
I mean, people probably like more so in my real life rather than online. Because online, it's mostly just like the people online are just doing it because they can make money at it. And like once you realize that, like they don't actually care, it makes like really like being like hateful towards them like kind of stupid because they don't give a shit. Nothing they say they give a shit about. Right? Like that's the reality of it, RJ. Like none of this shit matters to anybody. Like period. To the people watching it does because it's confirmation bias. You know, they want you to retell them their opinions. That's what they want. So people watching Snowdub want to see a guy with this fucking hand up a puppet's ass watching videos about liberals being upset. They don't give a shit about him. They just want to see liberals being upset. So it doesn't matter who the fuck he is because he literally is insignificant in this matter. There's no personality there. There's nothing there that people are going to like miss if he's gone suddenly. They'll find another channel that's going to give them the same kind of fucking copium that they want going after Democrats.
Well,
that's the reality of it.
I know.
I always try to ask who you hate.
But I know for a fact, because I've known him for a long time, he does, you know, care about this stuff, whether you agree with it or not. He does care. He genuinely does care. You know, this is like his political stance. And again, me and him don't agree on it.
Sure.
But,
you know, fine. Care all you want, but it's kind of like, if you're out there criticizing Democrats for having opinions over a 34-time convicted felon being elected and whatnot, you know, then you have to ask yourself, what is the whole thing? Is it the rule of law that matters? Is it social decency, social norms, American tradition? I mean, all these things are being thrown in the fucking air right now. You know, we've got a president that accepted a $400 million jet from a fucking foreign nation that funds terrorists. It's going to cost millions of dollars, tens of millions of dollars, and take at least 3.5 to 4 years to fully retrofit that jet to make it acceptable to be Air Force One, right? Then as soon as Trump's presidency is over, that whole thing has to be torn out. And then that's going to be donated to his library, which he can use anytime he wants. We've got a president that's out there basically saying like, I don't want to listen to the fucking rules. I'm going to do whatever the fuck I want. He ran a goddamn meme coin right before his inauguration, pulling in billions of dollars in almost untraceable funds from a lot of very shady individuals. You know what I mean? Like there are things there that have happened. So, but I'm sorry. Debbie from fucking Oregon had a bit of a conniption fit. Let's focus on that. Let's focus on someone who's insignificant to the political parties of this country, of the conversation, of our actual government governing bodies. Let's focus on that, make fun of that, rather than the actual dismantling of our democracy, of our way of life, the way that we have done things from someone who only cares about themselves. Let's look the other way. Let's be active propagandists for the person that is trying to gut our fucking country. But sure. He cares. Okay. I'm glad for him.
Jesus Christ.
Fucking, you know, Assalamu alaikum, right? Assalamu alaikum, brother.
We have to realize that a lot of people believe in what Trump believes in. So
and people are retarded, RJ. We've also determined that.
I mean, my thing is with the whole thing is
we have to learn to work with each other.
I don't have to. I don't have to do anything at this point. Here's the reason why. And I'll admit this. I'm coming from this in a little bit of a privileged position. Okay. I live in Washington. No, it's not white privilege. It's location privilege.
I was making a joke.
I live in Washington. Washington actually went bluer. Them in Maine. Everyone else went a slightly red or more red. So where I live, my way of life is largely going to go unchanged. Sure, some things are going to cost more. But by and large, things are going to kind of be okay. But RJ, you live in Alabama. You guys are going to get fucked.
Cool. Why are you doxing, bro? It's not cool.
Alabama's a big state. Okay. I know I'm not like naming off like, you know, your sister cousin. Okay. That would be doxing. But no, you live in the South. Okay. Just in the South. Those states are going to get fucked. Hardcore fucked. And those are the people who overwhelmingly voted for Trump. And so my whole thing is, and I hate to say it like this, but someone can clip me. I don't give a shit. I say this anyway, is that those people need to feel it. So whatever hurt's going to come their way, by all means, because this is what they voted for, and we all have to fucking deal with it. And it's not going to impact me because I'm in a state that pays a lot to the government, that pays a lot of the federal programming money. Same with Oregon, same with California, predominantly California funds a lot of the red states because that's where the money comes from, because there's no money in the red states because the people keep voting for those who are against their interests. They keep consolidating power to those who want to use them as a political fucking party that they can make money off of while they let fucking just fucking rot, and they blame it all on the goddamn liberals. So I'm sorry. I feel bad that people are going to suffer. But those people believed a liar who lied 33,000 times in his first 4 years. Lied consistently after the fact, fomented an actual insurrection, the first attack on our Capitol building since the fucking Civil War. Right? All that shit. But no, please. We have to fucking be, nice to these people.
I mean, we're doing fine right now, at least.
You're doing fine right now because of the economy that Biden had been building for years following COVID and the shit Trump fucked up. We're only a few months into this shit. So you're still feeling okay because it hasn't hit you yet. They're trying to dismantle, hold on. They're trying to dismantle the Department of Education to make sure that your job goes away and that they will all be relegated to fucking private or charter schools.
Why don't you become a politician?
I've thought about it. No, I've legit thought about it. You know, the downside of that, Saggy, is if I do try, you know what's going to happen? Polar bear.
Yeah,
Polar bear. Like flat out. It's going to be like,
that's true.
I don't support the dismantling of the Department of Education, but I will say I don't think public schools are going away.
No. They're not going to go away, but your job relies on funding. And the funding in many ways comes from the federal government. And the federal government is going to remove the mechanism for funding.
Well no, it's just going to go back to the states. The states are going to fund it.
Okay. Yeah, but do you really think the states are, right? Okay. I mean, I wish you luck. I do. I'm just telling you, this is what's going to happen. Like we're talking about the recession. There's a high 28% chance of a recession in the next 12 months. That's only going to get higher.
You know what we need right now?
I swear to fucking God. You say Superman, I'm leaving.
This is why we need Superman.
Why? Why? Wow.
It's true though. It's why we need Superman. To inspire people hope, to give people something.
This is why I don't like politics. It keeps us way more divided instead of being a united front. The one thing I would agree with Matt is while everybody is sitting here arguing about politics, all the shit that people are doing, the government's doing behind our backs is like wild. And it has nothing to do with Trump. This has been going on for centuries. Centuries. So like, I don't like politics. And I think that everyone has a right to feel how they feel about politics. Like that is freedom of speech and freedom of rights to have an opinion.
This is why we need Superman now more than ever to inspire hope and optimism during dark times.
You just wanted Matt to leave.
No, I'm being genuine.
You voted for Trump, didn't you?
I'm not telling you who I voted for.
Yeah, you did. Yeah, you did. Yeah, you did. That's why you don't want to talk about Trump and politics. You voted for Trump.
I'm not saying who I voted for. It's a
You voted for
private
Trump.
matter.
Yes, because I know you voted for Trump. I know you did. Because this is what your response. I know you did. And I don't care. I don't care. I mean, I've already said this. People voted for the lesser of two evils. A lesser evil. It was between Donald Trump, Joe Biden, and his foot was already outside the door of death. So, I mean, it is what it is. I'm not mad. It's, again, we have the right to vote. We have the right to choose. And then when people choose and they don't get the candidate they want, they freak out about it. So, I mean, it is what it is. I mean, I get it. Donald Trump's not perfect. I'm not a fan of Donald Trump, but I'm not going to hate people who are, because, like, what do we gain by that? It keeps us divided. It keeps us fighting, and it's just dumb. That's why I don't do politics. Yeah, I've been streaming 4 hours. I need to end on that note because that was crazy. Snowdub, I love you. I still love you. I'm sorry that you and my other friend can't get along, but I still love you. And I still support you. And you're not a piece of shit. And I don't think Matt Jarbo's a piece of shit, but to each other, you both are pieces of shit to each other. That's fair. Because I don't know what else to say. But I don't think that whole situation should have blown up the way it did. But it did, so here we are. Here we are, people. But anyways, I'm going to get going. Been 4 hours. I'm not expecting to go this long and not expecting to deal with political talk, but here we are, and things got awkward, so I'm probably going to get going. So, RJ, is there anything? Oh, wait, you don't do YouTube anymore. I forgot. I forgot. I was like, is there anything when you want to plug, RJ?
Occasionally I do stuff. I did a few streams like last week. You can go watch.
Yeah, RJ will be back because I'm definitely going to be talking about these Snyder Bros some more, so. But all right, guys, I'm going to end. I'm just going to end and hit the end button, not do an outro. So, yeah, thanks for listening to us talk for 4 hours. Thank you for Ricardo for pointing out that it's been 4 hours. I got to go. Y'all have a good one. Bye-bye. Say bye, RJ.
Bye-bye. Goodbye.